Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Middle-Aged Gamer Guy. How are you? Welcome on this Tuesday night. I'm your host, Middle-Aged Gamer Guy, or MAG. It's so much easier than that. I wish I just started that from the beginning. There you go. Hello to our first few people who are here tonight. Sophie, what's this? I'm early. Yes, Sophie, you are. Prince, hello. Gina, thank you so much. I know, Gina, you got a gifted sub last night from the Grey. Bless him. He's flat on his back with painkillers. Bless him. He pulled his... back out. So he's been in hospital all day, but no worries. I had a message from him. He's doing all right. So bless him. Tony, good evening. How are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Johnny the Dodger, my man. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. He's going to be okay. He's got all the painkillers and everything, and he's going to be all right. So he literally messaged me 10 minutes ago saying, thanks for messaging me and checking in on me. But yeah, Gray's going to be all right. But this is how much of a trooper Gray is, right? So while he was flat on his back with his back pulled out, he was sitting watching my stream last night and then gifting subscriptions to people. And then he started the hype train. I mean, the guy was waiting for an ambulance. I mean, I've never known anything like it. So, I mean, that's how cool he is. So he basically gave a load of subscriptions to people and was waiting for an ambulance. And I'm like, dude, why didn't you just switch the fucking stream off? It's so bizarre. But bless him. That's because he's such a nice guy. So, Gina, you're very, very welcome. And when Gray might pop in tonight, I don't know. We'll see if he does. I'm sure he'll appreciate the thank you, and I'll let him know. Right, let's crack on. We have got a jam-packed show for you tonight. We are reviewing 10 games for the last 7 days or so, plus all the latest gaming news for you. And the best bit is you lot can get involved, and I will explain how that works a little bit later on. I mean, it's hard to watch TV lying on the floor. It is. Becca, thank you so much for the raids. We haven't even got started, and we're good. I mean, it is hard to watch TV lying on the floor. He must have been like that with his phone or something. I don't know how he did it. Bless him. But there you go. Becca, thank you so much for the raids. How was your stream of Life is Strange True Colours? Welcome in. Big Jesse, good evening. Sophie's saying, look, Sophie's already guessing. Dave, make note of this. I'm bringing Dave in a minute. She says game number 3 is going to be an 8.5. All right? So we're going to make sure of that. See if that's right. Pixie, good evening. Good to see you all. Becca, thank you so much for that raid. Welcome to everyone who's just come in from Becca's channel. God help him if he drops his phone. I know, he'd be screwed. Ancient, hello. Oi, oi, Savaloi. How are you? It was good. I'm still shocked over the ending of... Oh, which ending of Dishonored did you get? Did you get the good? Did you get the bad? Or did you get the other two? Because I don't know what the other two endings are. I'm sure Dave could tell us. One thing I can guarantee now is that game 3 won't be an 8.5. Not only will if he have fucked his back up, he would have fucked his face up too. Yeah, if he dropped his phone on his floor. Oh no, you got the shit ending. Oh, spoiler alert for anyone who's not played Dishonored. Oh damn! So Emily got killed. The good, the bad, and the ugly, and the ending we don't know. Anyway, let's crack on with this show. I'm going to bring in my co-host, that man who knows the most. Please welcome the one, the only, Mr. David Jones.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
All right. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Oh, my God. We just had another raid. Jesus
Cool.
Christ. It's all going, Foxy. Thank you for the raid. It's like almost people don't want us to start the show, but I don't mean that in a bad way. Foxy, how you doing? Oh, of course, it's got to be Foxy. And you know why? Dave, you're so hot.
Oh, it's a sweet
He loves you, Dave. He loves you. There you go. How have you been, buddy? You good?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you, mate.
Good, good. What you been up to?
Oh, well, gameplay-wise, it's pretty much just been the same as last time, just Elden Ring, whenever I get a bit of time to jump on it. I think I'm about 70 hours in now.
Jesus.
Getting just still slowly progressing, but there's still tons and tons of content to do in it. But it's good. Still enjoying it. I'd recommend you give it a go, but you need to allow a lot of time for it. I
mean, we talked about this. Oh, Annoying Loud Fan, thank you so much for your gifted sub that's going to Foxy. Thank you so much for that. I mean, obviously, Ancient, we said he played it for 94 hours and he still hasn't finished everything, and now he's starting the game again. We are going to talk about Elden Ring later because we talked last week about some crazy ways that people have completed the game, and we'll talk about that more a little bit later on. But, I mean, you said you're at 70 hours.
Yep.
How long before are you going to try and do everything before finishing, or do you think you're going to do a certain amount and then end up going back and trying to find the rest of the stuff?
There'll be some stuff that will be locked out as I'm going through, because I think there's certain quests that you do one and you'll lock out something from another one. So you have to do New Game Plus if you wanted to see absolutely everything. Whether I'd do that, I don't know. I mean, it depends how long it does take me to get through it, but I am kind of just doing loads of stuff. I'm just exploring, wandering around all the places, taking my time. I'll get to the end one day. Whether it'll be this year, who bloody knows? But it is good. Still loving it.
Oh, hang on. Let me just confirm something. Prince, the gifted sub was for Annoying Loud Fan, but it was gifted from Foxy. Just so that makes sense. So actually, Annoying Loud Fan has subbed off the back of Foxy's gifted. I know that sounds totally crazy, but there you go. So do you know what? Just give them both a shout out. It's just fucking easier. Hello, Annoying Loud Fan, by the way, and everybody else who's coming on Foxy's rate. Good to see you. Apart from spending over 70 hours on, Becca says, Dave, can I get an autograph at NerdCon?
Yeah, if you want one.
There you go. He's charging 50 quid. No, he's not. He's not.
100 quid.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, never suggested anything. But
plenty of time to save, though.
Plenty of time to save, yeah. Give me all the shout-outs. Yeah, Foxy gets all the shout-outs. Anything else you've managed to play, or has it just been Elden Ring?
Well, whilst it has mostly been that, I did play a bit of Kirby and the Forgotten Land with my daughter on the weekend. We're playing through that in co-op. That's
and how did you find that? Because that looked awesome.
I like it. We're enjoying it. I mean, it's what Nintendo do well, cutesy sort of 3D platformer. So if you like any of the other ones they've done, you'll probably like Kirby. It's cool. We're playing it on like the easy difficulty mode, just so she can get more used to the controls. But it's fun because there's all these abilities you can pick up for the game, so you can keep changing the way it's playing with Kirby. And it's got this like little village that you unlock things for as you progress and save the little creatures. The more you save, the more stuff opens up in the village, and it started adding in a little house you can sort of decorate a little bit, and a little restaurant where you can do a mini game. It's puts all the other little bits in, and she has fun pottering around in the town after we finish the batch of levels. Nice. So it's a cool game. I'd recommend it for anyone who's got kiddie likes playing. Good one to do co-op with.
Nice. A couple of people, some weird things. Pixie Star said, I'm currently playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses while listening to you guys. Good. I hope you're enjoying your game, Pixie. Big Jesse says, I'm getting Dave to sign my boob, which Sophie said, which one, the left or the right? Johnny says, I'll do photos at NerdCon for 50 quid. Autograph for the titties. Which is big. Pixie Star says, I have over 100 hours in 3 Houses. I adore it. The games that have put, I think the only game that I've done more than that in, it was probably Sea of Thieves. Chat, let us know what other games you've put maybe more than 7,800 hours. But I can't think of any other game that I've put more than.
I think apart from Sea of Thieves, and that's only from playing with you loads, when lockdown first started, the only other game I can think of I put that much in was Breath of the Wild. And that was partially because I did end up restarting it because I had it on the Wii.
Right.
And I got a Switch and brought it on there and started again. But I didn't mind because it was a good game. Kind of like the way I feel with Elden Ring. It was just great fun to be in that world and explore around it. So I restarted it on the Switch, went a completely different way than I did before, and found loads of stuff I'd missed. So it was cool.
Nice.
I don't know how much I put into that. It's well over 100 easily.
Wow. Okay. Flipping out. See, I want to start playing that because I've got it and I just haven't started playing it. But Big Jesse says, Gran Turismo 1, Worms 1, both would have been way more than 100 hours. Johnny Dodger says, I'll autograph titties because the missus ain't going. You won't get in trouble unless it gets caught on camera. We'll see. Foxy, thank you. Thank you for the alert, dude. Thank you for bringing your community and your audience over to our show. We will look after them. Now, should we bring our guest in?
I think we should. Reach keep waiting.
Okay. Oh, God, Sophie says, I've got a game with over 336 hours. What the hell is that?
Wow.
So? My God. Who's the sponsor? We'll talk about NerdCon later. I'm not going to do it like, yeah, we'll talk about NerdCon halfway through the show. Don't worry. And if you don't know what NerdCon is, fuck it. Let's stick it in chat. There you go. We'll talk about that later. There you go. There's a link. Buy tickets and all that shit. Let's bring our guest in. This gentleman, as I would say, is last time we had him on the show, he had a very decorative thing. People thought he actually was a play tester for Fallout because of the background he had. But he's a world famous accountant and also a bit of a gamer. He's been on the show before. Please welcome Mr. Carl Ford.
Hello, boys and girls. How are we doing?
How you doing,
How are you, my friends?
I can't believe that. Like, has the answer come up for the 336 hours yet?
No, let's have a look. What was the 336 hours?
That's mad being that far into the game.
Prince says I've got over 600 plus on Ark Survival Evolved, hence why I don't play it anymore. Sophie, please tell me. Can't remember the game. I just know I have 14 days on it. How can you not know what game it is, Soph? Oh, come on. She's going to go hunting through a game library. Oh, I'm looking. Okay, she's looking. There you go. Becca says, Becca was streaming Dishonored earlier. Says, I can't wait to play Dishonored 2. Does it carry on from Dishonored 1? Yes. And it's excellent. And that's all I'm going to say. And then you need to play Dishonored Death of the Outsider, because that's excellent as well. Enough of that. So, Carl, what have you been playing recently?
For anyone that knows me, this is going to come as a huge, huge shock. I've been playing F1 2021.
Hey!
Yeah,
F1 that, aren't you?
I kind of fell out of love a little bit with gaming for a while, and I think it was because we spent so much of our time on Zoom and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And being an accountant, I was in front of a screen, so I just didn't want to spend my spare time in front of one. But last a few months, I've got back into it. So yeah, being an F1 nut, it's good to go as fast as I can and crash on corners.
Right. There you go. It was GTA. I'm guessing that's GTA 5, Soph. You had 600 hours on. That doesn't surprise me. It's been out for like 42 years. So didn't it come out in 1964 or something? That game. I don't know.
Yeah, re-released it 20,000 times.
Yeah, and then we'll finally
full
get
price each time
in 22.79. Then we'll get that. 25 days on it. God Almighty. There you go. So obviously you fell out of love, but then obviously the new F1 game came out. Is that what got you back into gaming again? Was it specifically that or something else?
No, because the 2021 game came out, I don't know, maybe July last year, I think it was.
Yeah, it came out later than it was supposed to, I think.
Yeah, and a lot of that because the real life season kept changing.
Yeah.
So then when it was due to release, it looked nothing like the actual game. And Codemasters have done loads of changes throughout because tracks kept getting added to it that weren't scheduled at the start of the year. So, thanks, Foxy.
Good man, Foxy.
I don't know what it was. I think it was just more. Because I've got a proper sim rig for it, and I think it was just keep looking at it like I'm just waiting. Like it's just a waste sat there. Either get rid or use it. So you can't get rid of that, can you? So you use it.
You've got to make the most of it. Obviously, it's like, yeah. People will start with going, well, why did you get it in the first place? You get people like that.
Well, because I was using it every day.
Anything else that's grabbed your attention or that you're looking forward to this year, gaming-wise?
Yeah, but I don't know if we're going to talk about it later. The Lego Star Wars game. I've seen a lot of adverts popping up for that.
No, we actually reviewed that on last week. Yeah, and it got an 8 out of 10. Mm-hmm. So it got really good reviews. Everyone's been saying how good it is.
That looks good. But my question is that just on Xbox?
No, it's out on everything. It
came out that I've seen states.
It's Xbox. Yeah. So what it is sometimes, just to clarify, it's out on all the Xboxes, all the PlayStations, PC, and Nintendo Switch. Right. So that actually came out Tuesday last week. Yeah. But what it is sometimes some games they get endorsed by a certain console. So it's really weird how I think like one of the latest Call of Duties wasn't actually endorsed by PlayStation. It was endorsed by Xbox, even though it came out a week early on the PlayStation. And it's just sometimes if it's not an exclusive, Xbox will chuck a bit of money to go, well, it's coming out on ours, so get it on ours because blah, blah, blah. And just basically, yeah, but Prince, Stadia, no one gives a fuck about Stadia. So
we're all about Luna now.
Go buy this on Stadia. Buy Lego Star Wars on Stadia.
Luna's where it's at now, son.
And then there's a couple of games that are in the list today that I've looked at. I'm like, they look cool.
Oh, okay. So, well, you might enjoy them. Well, let's crack on with the show then. But yeah, get Lego Star Wars. It's good, especially. What even is Luna? Hashtag Stadia free.
Amazon's answer to everything.
Right. Hashtag Stadia for the burning car dump is what that is going to be. Yeah, Luna. God, you watch in a couple of months will be like, what's Luna? Actually, will be what is even Luna. There you go. Let's not go there. I'm still waiting for my little console with the hand crank, which hasn't come out, but there you go. Oh God, I left all the channel points on. Shit, I'll have to turn them off. Fuck, that's going to make things complicated. I knew I forgot.
Everyone's got to use them really quickly.
I'm gonna do the thing that Becca's just done, and then I'll because I don't want people putting fucking sing mode and shit like that, because you don't want to hear me sing, and Carl will probably never come back on the show if I start singing.
I don't know, that could be fun.
Okay, then I'm definitely turning them off. There you go, off. There you go, Becca. I will redeem that though, because you spent the points, and that's only fair. So let me get rid of that. Reverse. Fuck that shit. How do you do reverse? I'm not even playing a game. So, Carl, I do a thing where I have to turn the controller upside down and play the game for like 5-10 minutes.
You got to turn your mug upside down and just let the liquid on.
Do the show backwards. So, gents, we've got 10 games out this week, and
You look better from that angle.
I was waiting for that comment. There you go. Thanks, annoying loud fan. Thank you so much for popping in. Good to see you. We have too much power, so there you go. I've got to do that. I've got to do a stretch, and I've got to sit correctly in my seat. Thank you, Becca. Scores first. Yeah, actually, do it backwards. Do the scores first, and then guess which game we're talking about. That's just going to mess people up. So this is what we're doing, folks. Let's get this show on the way officially. Let's do this. Our 66th show, Dave. Oh my God!
Execute Order 66.
Order 66, right? Murder all the kids. No, don't. Sorry, that'll get me banned from Twitch.
It's after 9 o'clock. It's fine.
Yeah, fuck them. No, don't do that either. That'll get you arrested like Jimmy Savile. So there you go. So 10 new games this week. Some old, some new, some just rehashes, plus a load of news for you. We're kicking off with this first one. This is ironically a remake. This came out last Thursday. This was 25 years old, this game. It had a port on the Sega Saturn and PC, which was back about nearly 15 years ago. So this hasn't seen the light of day since. Is it going to be all right on the Switch, or is it just going to be a jumbled mess? Let's have a look at this. This is House of the Dead remake, the classic shooter brought to life on Nintendo Switch. Have a look. Let us know what you think in the chat. We'll watch the trailer. Here goes.
Please help! Everyone is getting killed!
of the dead. I shall destroy everything.
So there you go, folks. House of the Dead remake. And yes, Pixie, you are right. This is the classic arcade shooter that was in arcades. Might even be one at NerdCon, hint, hint. Yeah, and then it's finally made its own way Nintendo Switch, and they've rebuilt it, remade it. It has some new not levels, but new game modes, like a horde mode that they've added, which was never in the game before. But the question is it going to be much cop? Now, for anyone who doesn't know or hasn't seen the show before, we take average scores from the internet, from things like Eurogamer, Spark, IGN, all these sort of things, Metacritic, blah, blah, blah. And we get an average score out of 10. So we're going to discuss the game, and then anyone is happy to put their score in the chat, and some of you already have. I mean, Becca said, I'm just going to go with what Dave says. So that's cheating. Anyone who gets it right gets a shout out in the chat. So my mods are going to have their work cut out for them. Johnny Dodger says this is a top game. Tony says I'm still waiting to buy my Nintendo Switch. But there you go. Apparently, I've done more than 100 hours on loads of games. Nearly 400 on Rocket League. Jesus Christ. There you go. Sophie says 7.5. Now, just so you know, before people start putting scores, some of the games tonight are not just going to get full numbers and 0.5s. We're going to have 0.25s and 0.75s as well, because that was the only way I could get the averages this week, because some of them right arse of scores. So be warned. So there might be a 7, a 7.25, a 7.5, a 7.75, or an 8, just to be an arse. But no, you can't have a 7.8, Sophie. It won't exist. So that'd be a 7.75. Are you actually shitting me? No, I'm not. Blame the reviewers, assholes. So, Dave, House of the Dead. Do you remember playing this in arcades?
Yeah, I remember playing it in arcades. I think the last time I actually played one of these games was House of the Dead 2, back on the old Sega Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty good fun back when that came out. It was a decent game. I can't remember a huge amount of the first one. I think it was the second I played, mostly. But what I remember was they were just pretty slocky sort of B-movie horrors, really cheesy dialogue. There's no story there, but that's not what you're playing it for. You're just playing it to shoot, hordes and hordes of zombies.
Sure.
This looks like it's okay. Graphics wise, it looks all right. It gets it pretty faithful. I think the only thing that will probably cause it some problems is the control scheme for the remake, because it's not like we get actual light gun peripherals we can use with the TV anymore, which is always the best way to play those. They just can't do that now, I think, with the flat panels. So you're going to be limited to either using the analog stick to move the cursor around, which is just shit, not fun to play on that way, or it's relying on the gyro controls in the Switch controller. How accurate that is as you move it. Is it following your one-to-one, or has it got a slight delay to it? So I can imagine the controls are probably going to let this down a bit. People are probably going to buy it for nostalgia, and they'll be a bit annoyed how it's controlling. It won't feel quite how it used to. The horde mode you mentioned, I don't think there's a huge amount to that. I think it's just some extra enemies and a bit lighter on ammo, just to make it a bit harder, a bit of a challenge for you.
A rock hard solid mode, really.
Yeah. So I think you probably want, if you're going to get it, you got to make sure you can get it for like a cheap price, because it's not like it's a long game. It's probably an hour-ish, maybe up to 2 hours to get through it. So it's not going to take you long to play through. If the horde mode's too hard, you probably won't bother carrying on with that. So it's one of those games, if you want to play it, I'd try and pick it up dirt cheap somewhere. Okay.
All right. Carl, do you remember this?
Yeah, not console, but definitely from the arcade. And as soon as I saw it pop up, I was just like, yeah. And then as it started to go through a little bit more, I was like, have I rated this game higher in my head purely from nostalgia point of view? But just because I remember being in an arcade playing it, and then like Dave was just saying, whether that would translate to a game that's fun and playable now, I don't know. But yeah, I really enjoyed playing this at the time. Never played it on a console because I'd got from Sega, I'd gone for like Master System 2 and Mega Drive, and that was it. I'd stopped. I saw someone talk about the Saturn last week, and I was like, oh my God, I forgot that console existed.
I'd forgotten that they existed until someone mentioned it, but it's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, this game looks cool, and I've never owned a Nintendo console. I've always been Sega, then into PlayStation.
Right.
This game would at least make me look at Nintendo as an option and see what other games there are, whether it's worth to pick one up.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you a couple more things before we get you to give your scores. So, the Horde mode isn't as much of a new addition as you think. It is just chucking a load of enemies in. However, even though it is a short game, you can do multiple routes. And the idea is you need to save all 100 scientists. So depending on which routes you go will determine things. So it does mean you get a slightly different gameplay experience. So there is some playability there if you want to be a completionist. The only thing is, Dave brought this up, the control system, not very well mapped. There you go. Prince goes. Carl gets a 10 because he's a PS player. There you go. Prince. See, Carl's winning fans already on this show. That's good. But they've said that if you run it in like the best performance mode, there are delays from the transitions, when you're walking down the corridors and it freezes. And even dropping that down, there's still some bits where it freezes. So the performance, it can't seem to handle it, even though it's still old graphics, which is not really that great. But the question is it still good fun to go and get? So, Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon your score is? And then I'll have a look at some of the scores that we got in the chat.
I'm going to go for a 6 out of 10.
You're going for a 6 out of 10. Okie dokie. Sophie's saying a 7.75. Johnny Dodger, surely your Dave score -3. What did Johnny say? I'm with Dave on this one. There you go. So, all right. So, Dave and Becca are going for whatever your score, which is what? You're going for a 6?
6.
Right. Okay. So, if they get it right, Johnny and Becca get a shout out. Prince keeps changing his mind, but he's gone for a 7.25. He changed. He's like, I'll go that. Then I'll go that. Then I'll go that. Big Jesse says a 6.75. Pixie, I think a 6.5 because of the lag you mentioned. Oh, Prince has changed his mind again. He's going for a 7. He's torn. He's torn. Carl, what do you reckon this got?
I was going in with a 7.5, but I think that's nostalgia weighted. I think it's going to be 6.75.
Okay, a 6.75. I can tell you that House of the Dead remake, which came out on Nintendo Switch last Thursday, got a 5.75.
Cool.
Yeah.
Not worth your money.
The highest scores it managed to get were a 6. But it got scores a lot worse. It's not great, folks. Did anyone actually? I don't think anybody got that right. So no one gets a shout out. So there you go. Mod privilege, I get 3. What you're really saying there is, Prince, is that you didn't have a Scooby-Doo, so you just guessed as many times as possible. Wow. Johnny's like, score. Damn. And we're too optimistic about video games. Yeah, but, such is life. There you go. Now, moving on. We have more games to do shortly. Ubisoft, whether you love them or hate them, but let's face it, they ain't as bad as EA. They have been doing a few things. Yeah, so I just diss people on this show, Carl. Don't worry.
It's because EA have done the last Formula 1 game. It's gone from Codemasters to EA.
Yes.
And you can tell.
There you go. So, the only well, yeah, wait. Let's not get on an EA. We're not mentioning it. I always go on a rant about EA, but no, screw it. Welcome, John Go. Good to see you. You have to pay for the A.
Exactly. There's so many add-ons in the Formula 1 game now where you have to pay every week for something to pay for.
Oh, my God. Well,
terrible, ain't it?
Speaking of companies that do that, Ubisoft have announced some interesting things. They've announced a few things. Now, there's a couple of things been going on. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which was not a big, well-reviewed game when it came out. It was quite a broken mess. Being the sequel to Ghost Recon Wildlands, which was, as far as I'm concerned, a great game. They have turned around and said the last bit of DLC that they've pushed out and content, which was back in last month, is going to be the last. And they will now stop supporting that game. The servers are still going to run for the meantime, and for Ghost Recon Wildlands, which obviously is a lot older game. I think that game's flipping 4, 5, maybe 6 years old now. But Breakpoint's more than it came out the same year as Division, so that's 3 years old. 3 years old this autumn, I think. Breakpoint. So they're stopping that. However, what's interesting is people got pissed off when they introduced NFTs. Hey Andrew, how's it going? Because you can buy certain items for the Ghost Recon games that you could buy, earn, and only you would have. The question is, if they're going to stop supporting it, what are they going to do with the NFTs? So that's my first question to you guys. Second question is, what was really funny is back in October they announced the next Ghost Recon game. So everyone's like, oh, okay. So as like other games, like Division comes to the end of Division, then they announced Division 2, so people move over. They announced the game a couple of months back ago called Ghost Recon Frontline, which apparently was a battle royale game, which everyone rolled their eyes about as if we haven't got enough battle royale games. But funnily, literally a few days ago, they went, oh no, we've ditched Frontline. We did some alpha tests on it and it tested badly. So we've ditched it. And now we've got a new Ghost Recon game for 2023 called Project Over. Nobody knows what's going on with that. They've got another game that they're launching which apparently is another first-person shooter, Battle Royale, which is called Pathfinder, which is due to hit sometime next year, which has got some sort of superhero vibe. And they think it's going to replace Hyperscape. Anyone remember Hyperscape that came out 2 years ago?
Oh, yeah, I heard of it. Never played it.
Yeah. They're closing the servers. It's not even been 2 years. They are closing the servers completely in the next couple of months. That's how much faith they got in that game. I remember that being one of Paul Newton's favourite games of 2020, and they're shutting it down. So they're bringing this other stuff in. So, guys, your thoughts on this? Do we think that really NFTs are going to be continued in games, especially Ghost Recon? Do we really need another Battle Royale? And do we think it's a bit unfair that they've closed the game down in less than 2 years? I'll let you guys discuss, and let's see what people in the chat have got to say.
Well, the NFTs, apart from being completely pointless anyway, and a waste of everyone's time, because let's face it, most time it's just like, say, a hat, and you just got a special serial number on it, like 1, 2, or 3. They're just pointless. Absolute waste of time. So I don't know why they bother, but Ubisoft seems to be trying to be big on it. You know, they got the whole
this is the thing.
So they want to try and carry it on because they've been like, talking it up, saying it's going to be one of the next big things. I think one of the things that a lot of people like to say about like NFTs in games, their sort of dream of it, which probably will never really happen properly, is that if you buy an NFT in a game, let's say you buy an NFT of a gun, you should be able to then take that gun to other games.
Yes.
But, I don't know how easy that is, for companies to necessarily do something like that.
Silly. Let's say, right, they've said there's no more DLC or no content coming out for Breakpoint, but you're going to still be able to play the game for a couple of years. Now, Wildlands is a lot older, but you can still play that. But is there going to come a point where you spent all that money on that item and then they close the game down like Hyperscape? You've lost that for good.
Well, yeah, it hasn't got much value then, especially if it's not a popular game still. If it was something hugely popular, so they tried to do it like the Final Fantasies, they could probably keep some value. But for something like Breakpoint, which was never that popular anyway, probably had like a niche audience left at the end. If they brought, like some of the NFTs, who really cares once it all closes down? Who's going to want to buy it off them? Because that's the thing, you're meant to be able to sell them on and make money off them.
Yeah.
You're not going to make any money off them. The only people who make money is the company selling them to you. You're never going to make anything back.
I'm going to bring up a few comments before I speak to Carl. Will NFTs still be a thing? Yes. Should they be? No. Sophie, I don't know what NFTs are, so I can't live without them. 2, we don't need another Battle Royale. And 3, I can't remember the question. And she went, wait, I remember the question. 3, yes, I think it's bullshit they are closing the servers down after 2 years. Pixie, fuck NFTs. Also, this is struggling. Why are they clutching at straws? And Battle Royales are just worn out. Now go away. Exactly. Carl, your thoughts on all this?
NFTs, they just need to fuck off.
Yeah.
And like what Dave said about if you have one, like for like a gun, you should be able to take it into another game. That makes sense. Although in reality, it then doesn't make any sense because you could buy a gun in Call of Duty and then you pop up in a wrestling game with a gun because you bought it as an NFT. So that's the only way it would make sense to actually buy NFTs. But then in reality, they make no sense. So they should just not do them. Like like you said, the only people making money out of it are the people selling them, and everyone else. The only joy is saying, "Woo! I've got an NFT. This time next year, I'll be a millionaire." No, you won't.
No. I think you've got to pick your games very carefully. If you pick a game that's going to be around for ages, GTA 5, you probably would get something worth that, and then maybe have it a couple of years and sell it on. But is anyone going to remember Ghost Recon's Breakpoint in the next 5 years? Probably not.
Nah, we all wanted to forget it, but they just kept trying to fix it.
They spent ages fixing it. It was an all right game once they got to it, but again, it's that cyberpunk thing of it was 6 months too late. By the time it was fixed, most people have moved on to something else. And I think they dropped a bollock because they brought out The Division, and then 2 years later, they brought out Ghost Recon Wildlands. So it was like a natural succession. Division was coming to the end. That came to that. Then when Ghost Recon was coming to the end, they brought out The Division. But then 6 months later, brought out Ghost Recon Breakpoint. You had 2 games. Now, I thought Division 2 was a far better game anyway. But it's like, why didn't you just fucking wait until Division 2 ended, which actually was the start of last year? All the content pretty much dried up last year. You could have brought that out last year and get it on next gen. I think they would have done a better job. I don't know. I don't know. And Pritt says, where we go? NFTs shouldn't be something in a game, says Andrew. They're meant to be digital art, I thought. A game is consumable. NFT is meant to be permanent on the blockchain. True. But then if you buy it in a game, it's not permanent, especially if they close the servers down. Paul is away, so he isn't really online, but he says he is sad that they're closing down the servers. I'm sad for him because he is the only person that ever played that game. I feel bad for him. I'll have a battle royale, but boring. That's just the same shit. Can you imagine someone punching you on a wrestling game and then bam, gun to your face? It would piss myself. I would piss myself. It'd be great. I think they're just trying to keep people's attention. It ain't working. Skyrim and GTA 5 are probably the only two that would work for. I would agree. But there you go. It feels like they are squeezing NFTs into things because they are a hot topic rather than working out a proper use for it. I agree. Sophie says, slides a pea mat under Sophie because she's pissing herself laughing. I think that answers your question, though. If no one is playing it, then they might as well just shut down the servers. Very true. I used to think a lot of my favourite games used to be Ubisoft, but in the recent years, don't think they brought out much great content.
No, I think they've gone a bit stale. All their open worlds just feel the same. Copy and paste one to the other. It's like you mentioned Division 2 and Breakpoint. They took a lot of stuff from Division 2 and put it into Breakpoint. So Breakpoint, I didn't feel like it had its own identity anymore.
No.
It was just too much stuff getting thrown into the mix. It just wasn't a good game. Yeah. Very, very poor.
It's a shame. And then we've said a couple of their recent games that come out have been a bit iffy. I mean, Riders Republic was decent. That was something different. But Far Cry, no one give a shit about Far Cry, unfortunately. It didn't review well or anything. But there you go. So we'll see what happens with these games that probably no one cares about when they come out in 2023. Going for something a bit different now. Our next game, this is a sequel to a much beloved PS VR game. This is Moss Book 2. I know Dave played the first one and loved it. Let's have a look at the trailer. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. Here goes.
There's no turning back now. Or so the saying goes. You've come too far on this journey. A million moments of calm and chaos. Of triumph and heartbreak. It all led you to this. But when the fear within threatens to consume you, it's the real heroes who do turn back. To see the ones who stand behind them. Who give them the strength to achieve the impossible.
So there you go, folks. That is Moss Book 2, the very much anticipated sequel to Moss, the VR game on PlayStation. But now it's on PlayStation 5. Prince is already straight in there saying, oh, this is game number 2. It is the sequel. The first one left you on a cliffhanger. This 8 out of 10. I had the first, but I never played it, though. Play it. It's decent. It's a great game. Davey's fed up with all the similar open worlds. Don't worry, there are loads of really different turn-based RPGs out there for you.
Don't believe you.
Looks like the game Ender plays in the Ender's Game film. Flipping out. That mouse looks cute. Sophie's going for an 8.25. This looks very Red Wall. Dave's score is my score. Becca just basically freeloading off Dave again. VR game for PlayStation. This was left on a cliffhanger after the last one where you control a little mouse going through the wood and all the things that are threatening. Do you know what? I'm going to... Carl, have you got PSVR?
No.
Have you heard of the Moss games?
Until I watched this just before when you showed me the notes for this. My review, like my one note that I wrote down about this game is, what the actual fuck? I'm totally down with like VR games and the concept of it, but I was like, why would I want to be a mouse?
Well, maybe
all the things I could be. And there was one moment in that trailer, I thought the mouse had got squashed between like these cogs. I was waiting for blood to splat everywhere. And I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be happy that the mouse is dead or not.
Okay.
But yeah, when I watched this, I was just like, what the hell is this? I'm sure it's good for some people, but yeah, this is not a one for me.
Okay. I think you and Johnny are on the same wavelength because he said this is 2.
Yeah, but do you know, slightly better. I was going to go in with a 3, but
oh wow, okay. I'll see what Dave has to say because you might change your mind. Let's see. Dave, I know you've played the first one and loved it.
Yeah, I played the first one. It was a great VR game. Really good, really well done in VR. Because it just feels like you're just looking at these really cool little dioramas with all these little characters in them. And you're moving the mouse around. It's got a cool little feature. If you're leaning quite close to the mouse, she'll look up at you and wave. It's just got like cute little touches like that. It's got quite cool combat to it. You're directly controlling the mouse with the controller, but you can sort of reach in as well and then sort of grab enemies to slow them down. Or if the mouse quill gets badly injured, you can sort of pick her up to give her some health back so she can carry on. It's got a bit of sort of light sort of puzzling to it in the levels where these sort of moving blocks around, moving statues around, stuff like that, just to sort of get through. But it was a very cool little game. I really enjoyed it. Cool little characters, very good in VR, very well done. So I'm looking forward to this one. I haven't got my PSVR anymore, so I have to wait for the PC VR in a couple of months' time. But when it comes to that, I'll definitely get it.
Okay, well, they've said it's a worthy sequel. It's a very good game. If you love the first one, you're going to love this. However, the PS5 does suffer the drawbacks of the fact that it's using old PS4 VR tech. And it doesn't actually make it as good as experience as the first game. The question is that going to hold it back enough to give it a good score or a bad score? So let's see. Dave, what are you going to go with first? Chat, get your scores in now.
I'm going to go for an 8.
You're going for an 8. Prince went in for an 8 straight on. So it means Becca's got an 8 as well. Johnny the Dodger is a 2. Chat, get the rest of your scores in now, please. Big Jesse is going with a 7.5. Carl, while we're waiting for the scores to come in the chat, what do you reckon? Are you going to still stick with your 3 out of 10?
No, do you know, I'll be fair to the game and I'll give it a 4. I love that. It's so far away from that the type of game that I play that I think I just was like, no. And then I wanted the mouse to die, but then I don't know who it was. Someone in the chat was like, no, when Mousy dies, it's bad.
Yeah. Becca was like, no, not kill the Mousy. Andrew says 5.5. There's going to be people who play this will be an emotional wreck, I can guarantee. Sophie said 8.25.
Imagine the mouse getting splattered in VR.
I know, can you imagine that? And then its body flies towards you. No, I said it's horror. That'd be shocking. Carl got the same accent as Brad. Has he?
Have I?
He ain't a northerner.
I don't know how that's happened.
No, I don't know. Maybe we're spending too much time with Brad. I don't know, Carl. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? You're evil, Carl, wanting to kill the mouse. Or maybe that's because you said you wanted to kill the mouse. That's a diss. You sound like Brad. Maybe it is. Except for Sophie, Brad and Carl do not sound alike.
No, we don't.
No. That was a random comment, Becca. Carl has the same accent as Brad in that they are both likely from Earth.
That's unconfirmed, though. I know I am, but Brad...
I could safely say Brad is probably from another planet. I do, yeah. To go at the lightning speeds he does, he's definitely from like another thing. Brad is a maybe that he's from Earth. Okay, jury's out on that one. All right, I could tell you that Moss Book 2 on PSVR, PlayStation 5, got a 8 out of 10, people. 8 out of 10. So, Prince, give yourself a shout out, and Becca gets a shout out because she said whatever Dave says. That's easy. There you go. If you're not following these people or watching on Twitch, go do it. Becca was doing a great stream earlier of Dishonored, and then there was a bit of Dead by Daylight, and she snuck in, Did you start? Yeah, you started Life is Strange True Colors today, didn't it? It was a mammoth session of a stream there. There you go. So close yet so far. Right. Well, Soph, we'll do game number 3 in a minute. But as you already pre got a scoring, so we'll see how you go. So our next bit of news, not that it's much news, but it is some news. We have been told that from Square Enix, there is a new Tomb Raider game in the works, people. Yes, a new Tomb Raider game is in the works. And they have lined up the director of PlayStation exclusive Days Gone to head up this game. Now, just to clarify, this is nothing to do with the last 3 games, they have said. That trilogy is done and closed. The Tomb Raider reboot, which started in 2013 and ended in 2018 with Shadow of the Tomb Raider, that is done. So this is going to be a brand new Tomb Raider game from Square Enix. But that's all we know. Question is, guys, and people in chat, are we excited?
Oh, I am. I like the Tomb Raiders, especially the recent ones. I do like a good third-person action adventure. To me, they're just good fun. So I love the Tomb Raiders, love the Uncharted's, anything like that. Yeah, I'm usually up for playing it. So I'm not sure what they're going to do with this one. I saw some rumours of some people were thinking they're going to do a remake of the very first Tomb Raider, but they kind of already did that with Tomb Raider Anniversary. So it seemed a bit silly. I mean, even though you could do it with new technology and it probably looked fantastic, it just seems a bit pointless. Hopefully they'll do something new with the character in the franchise. But I mean, it's very early days, isn't it? So it's going to be years before we hear anything further about it.
You put it like 2028 or something by the time we get it. But it's interesting. I only ever played the first original two. And then it wasn't until 2013 that it repeat my interest. And I have to say, the 3 games in that trilogy, Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, all excellent. Maybe not so much Shadow. It was still a good game. It just, compared to the other two wasn't as good. But it was a nice way to round off a trilogy. But yeah, this could be exciting to see how... Now, Eidos Interactive are not involved this time, though, are they? And those are the ones that mainly... Montreal, so Eidos Montreal, that basically did the reboot, but the main housing software are. But the guy that, if they got the guy in for Days Gone, and a lot of people love Days Gone, which was a PlayStation exclusive, and last year it came out on PC. That was a cool game, and I think a lot of people would really enjoy that. Carl, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm similar to Dave with this. This has got me interested. That I'm a big Tomb Raider fan, love the movies, and then the games I played the original ones, really enjoyed them. So this is definitely something that I would keep my eye out. And it's better than a mouse, isn't it? Like, it's Lara Croft.
Fair enough. It's Lara Croft.
But I'd definitely be keeping an eye on this game and be getting this when it come out.
Okay, cool. Chat, let us know if you're excited. Some people said they're not excited. Some people said, it's kind of divided people on this one. But we'll see. And as soon as we know more, we'll let you know on this show. Our third game this evening. Now, what was Sophie's? Was it 8.5? Was it guess for this in advance?
Yeah, that's right.
Did we get this right? This is again sort of a remake, rehash of a classic Nintendo game. If I've got this right, Dave. Hopefully, this is Chronocross.
PS1.
It was originally a PS1. There you go. Fucked it from the start, people. There you go. Shows you how much I know. Chronocross. The fucking hell, what was this called? I've even forgotten what this... Hang on, let me have a look at the thing. It's called what?
The
Chrono
Radical
Cross,
Dreamers
the
Edition.
Radical Dreamers Edition. I couldn't even get that right. So there you go. Let's have a look at the trailer. This came out also last Thursday. A lot of games came out last Thursday. But this is now on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. So you can pretty much get this on everything. Let's have a look at the trailer. See what we think, because they've worked the game right up. Fuck the name. I want to take my score back. Too late, so if you can't, I'm playing the trailer. you go, folks. That is Chronocross, the Radical Dreamers edition. I know jack shit about this. Oh, we've lost Carl. Let's get him back. Hey.
Hello. You said, well, let's watch the trailer. Then I just went.
I don't know where you disappeared to. Sorry, did you see the trailer?
I watched it earlier.
Okay, cool. I don't know why you disappeared. I must have hit the wrong bloody button. Yay, technology. Yay, Mag, getting old. Hey. There you go. Big Jesse said that looked fucking terrible. Rebecca says, where's Carl gone? Only now, yeah. So people watched the trailer and then went, oh, Carl's gone. They have a high regard for our guests, this lot.
I just thought he liked this one less than the mouse in the previous one.
I know, yeah.
So fuck it. What's the point hanging around?
Why when I pick random numbers, it is the worst game going? There you go. Yeah, well, then wait, I looked away for a second and where did Carl go? There you go. They did notice she disappeared, so that's my fault. Sorry about that. Carl, I'm going to start with you on this one again. I'd never heard of this. I don't know. Would this appeal to you?
No. When I watched the trailer earlier, I was like, I don't know what's going on. It kind of a little bit made me think of Zelda.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like Zelda v Pokemon. And it just, I couldn't get into it. I couldn't buy into it.
Yeah.
It was like it was trying to be two different games.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just didn't do anything for me at all, this one. It just seemed confusing. And when I saw that it was like a PS1 game, I was like, I don't even remember this from PS days.
Mm. Well, I clearly didn't because I thought it was on an old Nintendo game, so it shows you how much I know. Dave, you know a bit more than I do. Go for it.
Well, I knew the title when you didn't, so yeah, I knew it.
Shows you how much I care about this game, doesn't it? I just couldn't even get the title right.
This is one I wasn't familiar with either. I think this came out in 1999, the PS1, but I'm not sure if it came out over here. It might have just been like a Japanese only, perhaps. Yeah. But then people found it over the years, and it became one of those sort of cult classics. So this is just a sort of bit of a basic remaster from what I've been reading. So you've got your standard mode where it's the original type of visuals, and then another mode where it's slightly upscaled visuals just to make them look a little bit nicer. But there's not a huge amount of difference. And one thing I was reading, I haven't watched the video on Digital Foundry, was they were saying that this game on PS5 apparently runs worse than it did on the PS1. It doesn't sound like they've done a very good job with the remaster. They fucked something up, if that really is the case. And the Radical Dreamers bit that's mentioned in the title, that is just like a visual novel that I think links this game to an earlier one. So I think this is probably one for people who really like the JRPG genre, which I never did back in the day when this came out. I always hated the look of that turn-based combat. So those just never appealed to me, never went near them. But for JRPG fans, there's probably going to be some who played this game, liked it, want to play a slightly better version of it. Most of the people probably just go, yeah. There's lots of better stuff out there. The remaster, skip it.
All right. Well, chat, get your scores in now. What you think? Andrew says 4. It didn't engage me. Prince was a 7. Fortunately, Sophie's got 8.5 by default. You dug your own grave there, girl. Get your scores in the chat now. Carl, I'll start with you. What would you give this?
Yeah, right. I think Andrew's hit the nail on the head. I'm going with 4.
Okay. Dave, what do you reckon?
I'm going to try a 7.25.
7.25. Okay, I'm going to make a note of that. Sophie said my personal score would have been a 6.75, but you can't have that. Prince said a 7. Any other guesses, folks? I'll give you a couple of seconds to get your guesses in. And then we are going to reveal that Chronocross, which came out last Thursday on PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. See, Becca says 7.25. Is that what you said, Dave?
It is.
It is. Right, just checking in case she went for something different. I thought I'd be like, oh, she's gone for something different. I can tell you, you're about a 0.5 off. It got a 7.75.
Ooh,
I know. Big Jesse says 5.25. Too late. I know. Now, the interesting thing is there's lots of different scores for this. And looking at some, the Nintendo Switch version gets the worst scores. But then looking at the PC and the Xbox, it gets some really good scores. So actually, as Dave said, seems to be that the Switch and the PS versions have not converted very well, but then they've done a better version with the PC and the Xbox. So if you ain't got a PC or Xbox, I'd say stay clear. But if you are a fan of these and you want to play it and you've got those platforms, try it out. But there you go. So yeah, bit of a shocker, that one, I think. But there you go. On some more news. Now, it's been an interesting week for Epic. We're going to talk about Epic a little bit later on. But Epic have announced that they are doing a deal with Lego, and they are announcing a big project. And that's about as far as we got, because really they basically said they are doing, let me get this, take the exact words that they use from their corporate bullshit. Immersive and digitally engaging family-friendly experience for all. So not Fortnite, clearly. What do you think they're going to be doing? Because last time Lego tried to go up against something big, which was Minecraft, they released Lego Worlds. Now you hardly hear anything about Lego Worlds. It didn't. You know, Minecraft is still going strong. I know people play Lego Worlds, but you don't hear it. It's gone. It's a dead thing. Oh, that's epic. There you go. Xbox for the win. Becca's going mag the Xbox trait. I still have my Series X, Becca, and my Xbox One. Just that I have a Switch and a PlayStation 5 and a PC. But there you go. But yeah, this could be quite good. But what do we think this could be? Or what do you think they're going to try and do?
Family-friendly thing. I mean, they could probably do some sort of thing within Fortnite if they wanted to, by putting like Lego bricks in as the building material.
No, they've stated they're not doing that. That's the one thing they did say. It's nothing to do with Fortnite. Probably a battle royale for kids.
That's it. They'll throw Lego bricks at each other.
And
if you don't stand on them,
you've got to knock their block off.
Maybe they're just like, you know, pop Sonic up at like various places around like the country where you can go and, you know, do something with Lego, build something. What else are you going to do with it?
Big Jesse says they've called it a metaverse. So I think it's basically going to be a massive open world with Lego.
Yes.
But didn't they try that with Lego? Isn't that just fucking Lego Worlds again then? A Lego Disney game. Well,
it'll probably be disappointing, is what it will be.
Yeah.
It actually appears.
Carl, what do you think?
I don't know. That the potential for building this open world where you can just create from Lego is amazing, but would it be for the whole family? Like, would kids start playing it when they've already got Minecraft and stuff like that? Would they then jump across? Or if that came out, would it be people that are, without declaring any ages, men in their 40s that played with Lego as a kid going, oh my God, I can build a real world now from Lego. That hasn't got much legs on it, although it's probably fun for half a day.
But then they're just rehashing the thing that they brought out 2 years ago.
Games companies can do that anyway, can't they? Like, we'll strip off the label, put a new shiny label on, and we'll ignore that past failure and look at this new shiny thing.
Oh, that little thing there. Sorry to interrupt you, Carl. Ray Shannon's just raided from her show I was watching earlier. Hello, Ray. Thank you so much. Can we get a shout out for Ray? She was doing a special chat show all about OLL, actually, where I got to meet her at the show. So thank you so much for that raid. Welcome, everybody. Hello, Sakura. Great to see you. How's it going? Welcome, Phantom Wolf. Hello. Good to see you again. Sweet Train. Woo-hoo. I could actually do a train noise. Hang on one. Yeah, that's enough of that. So okay. Thank you so much, Ray. Thank you so much for the raid. Greatly appreciate and bringing all your lovely viewers over to here. Hello. Sorry to cut you off, Carl. You were saying what do you think then possibly that this could be with Lego and Epic?
I think that it's going to be like a rebadged version of what was there before, and they'll just say that it's bigger and better. But I think that's a high risk maneuver because you've got like my daughter's mad into Minecraft. She's 7. That's the market that Lego should be going after. But you've got to come up with something really special to get her to move away from Minecraft now.
Yeah.
So, and I just don't know what they can do unless they go fully down the Disney route and just create something with that, because you've got loads of different options. Then if they create something with the Marvel characters or Star Wars, but
it's going to be. It depends how they're going to do it, innit? I mean, they could do a lot, but then there's that thing. Then if they're doing it in partnership with Epic, are Disney going to want them to use certain things? Is there going to be difficulties with? I mean, we'll talk more about Epic later and how they've ended up with another bloody lawsuit on their hands, but we'll see. Raddle's back. Hello, Raddle. Good to see you. But everyone's saying it could just be a Lego Battle Royale, and it could be, as Matt. We'll see. Ray says, no, thank you. Really appreciate you coming by earlier, Mag. Had to send the sweet train love to you. Yosh, my follows are sweet, and my sweet train is a raid. Mwah! Thank you, lovely. Appreciate that. Plus, me Googling stuff sometimes has helped middle. That's true. Scorer says, Lego, Xbox Live, all Lego games, one monthly price. Oh, that could happen. Maybe Epic would put all the Lego games and they would be like a server where you could play them to your heart's content. Especially the new one that came out last week. Never
Could
thought
fit
of that.
in with the idea of a metaverse, couldn't it? A world that you go into and it's got loads of content.
Yeah.
And whenever I hear metaverse, I always think of something like Ready Player One, but it will never get to end up getting like that.
Prince was saying, yeah, it could be something like with the Kingdom Hearts games where they bring everything in, as Carl said, bringing Disney stuff and stuff. We'll talk about Kingdom Hearts a little bit later on. What else we got? It's got to be big. We just looked at the budget for it. How much is the budget? Note to self, don't mention Google in Middle's chat. It triggered my Google. Hello, Google. Has anyone got Siri? Hello, Siri. I love doing that. It pisses people off. There you go. That would be great. Wish Lego Star Wars wasn't 50 quid to get on Switch. Or I get it. Switch games are always really expensive. Oh, it's Alexa. Hello, Alexa. There you go. Alexa, shopping list. I don't know. Let's probably get some people pissed off, but there you go. But there you go. We will see. What are Epic and Lego going to do? We shall see. We shall see. Alexa, order me some toilet roll. There you go. Old people in tech. Yeah, I'm not going to keep. Alexa, play Despacito. There you go. I'm just going to get in a lot of trouble with a lot of people. Let's move on to our next game. This game is out on Switch. This came out today, people. Tuesday the 12th, which is today, Nintendo Switch. Let's have a look at this. This is another bizarre Japanese game, but it has like giant monsters, a bit like Pacific Rim and stuff. But this is called 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. No jokes, people. No jokes about that. Let's get your thoughts in the chat, and there's going to be some jokes now in it. I said that. I should have kept my mouth shut. Let's have a look at the trailer, and we'll be right back. Here goes.
The only chance we have of surviving is to fight back with the Sentinels.
Now let's go!
I'll fight and protect everyone.
Do you understand the situation we're in? That area is under attack by D-forces. I gotta dance with these chumps first.
Let's do this together. That was awesome. You got them all in one shot.
Slow down. Different combat situations might call for different weapons.
I'm back in the fight. Don't get ahead of yourself. We're not done here.
We need to focus on protection.
Then we have our plan. Let's move out!
Keep it together. Everything will work out.
So there you go, folks. That is 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. I wasn't joking. It is basically Pacific Rim, isn't it? But it's a strategy-based game, which when I first heard about this coming out, I didn't think it would be. I thought it was like, oh yeah, combat or turn-based combat. It is still, but it's more command and conquer than it is RPG. Dave, go for it. I'm going to start with you.
Yeah, I think I remember us looking at this on the PS4 probably at some point last year. I'm pretty sure it did get good reviews. It's probably got a decent storyline to it. And I think most of the storyline comes across in those 2D side-scrolling bits that you could see. And then you've got the strategy parts with the mechs. It looks okay. I can't say it grabs me, but it's not my type of game. But from what I remember, it is meant to be decent. So there's probably a lot of people who will enjoy it if they go out and get it, if it appeals to them.
Okay. I mean, I like the fact that someone said he's a shite. Then Big Jesse followed it up when this game can lick my ages. There you go. People, Phantom Wall says people would probably buy this for the story. Well,
it's meant to be very good.
Well, then this could be it. But yeah, as you said, was it 2 years ago it came out on PlayStation? Was it last year?
I can't remember. You'd have to look back in your notes, mate. It was our last year.
Yeah.
Or the year before. It was recent-ish on PS4, I'm sure.
We probably talked about
last year.
It. Shows you how much I remember. If we did talk about it on this show, I don't remember it. But there you go. We talk about a lot of games. There you go. Carl, your thoughts?
Do you know, if this came out on PlayStation as one of the monthly games you can download and play, I'd probably play it.
Okay.
But I wouldn't go out and buy it. There's just something about the style of it, that the music, it's a bit annoying, but it's one where if it was there to play, I'd have a little go. It looks like it could be fun to play for like a couple of hours. Nothing longer than that. I think then the novelty would wear off.
Okay. All right. Well, for the people who've just joined us on Ray's raid, we get you to guess the scores. And if you get the score right, you get a shout out. This is how it works. So, Dave, I'm going to start with you. Out of 10, remember you can have a whole number, a 0.25, a 0.5, 0.75, especially with this week's.
It's getting complicated now, this score.
It's getting very it's just the way the average scores worked out, which is a pain in the arse to be honest. But what do you reckon 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim, which came out today on Nintendo Switch, got?
I think it probably scored quite high. I'm sure it did well on the PS4, so I'm going to go for 8.5.
8.5. Okie dokie. Let's have a look at this. Ray says, yeah, I'll do well for people who like the type of game, but I don't play strat or grid style games personally. A lot of companies are bad on releasing concept art. It took me 3 days to find the art for Apex. Am I seeing what you guys are seeing? Sophie probably hates this. It looks like a flat 2D and it would annoy me to heck, says Andrew. As always, I'm with Dave's score. So that's an 8 point. What was it? You said 8.5?
8.5.
8.5. Phantom says 6.5. Prince is saying 7.75 since you brought it back up. Might be. We'll see. It's a 2 from me, but I'm guessing a 6.5. 6.75. Sorry, Big Jesse. Carl, what do you reckon?
Yeah, if I was going to personally rate it, I'd probably go for a 4. However, I reckon this game's probably scored quite high, and it's probably got like an 8.25.
Okay. So I can tell you that 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim, on Nintendo Switch, that came out today, got an 8.75.
Close.
So far, our highest scoring game of the night. 8.75. I had a 0.5, but you mentioned the 0.25. You were close. So I don't think anyone got that, but there you go. But that's out today, people. That's out today. Now, a couple of things. Sophie's like, bullshit. Now, look, don't blame us. It's the reviewers. We don't necessarily agree with the viewers because let's face it, Carl certainly doesn't. Johnny the Dodger certainly doesn't. I don't always. People are stupid, says Andrew. True. Welcome to Earth. But yeah, so we'll come up with some more games and more game news. But we're going to do something first. There's a couple of things we want to do first. I've got to do the blatant plug because if I don't do it, I'll probably get sued by my business partner. NerdCon, ladies and gentlemen. NerdCon is happening. It is a game that myself and a ex-gaming journalist, Brad Burton, are putting together on Wednesday, the 17th of August at Europe's largest arcade, which is called Arcade Club. I'm going to put the details in now. Tickets are on sale now. Ta-da! There's the link in the chat. There are over 300 arcade, new and old machines to play, retro, all that sort of stuff. Let's get rid of that as well. Let's get rid of the old. New and old to play. And there's also Nintendo Switches, Xboxes, PlayStations, etc. that you can play all the latest games on as well. Free of charge. There are free bars, one on every level. There is a main stage. There is a restaurant. We are going to do Q&As. We have got game challenges where you can win shit. We have got seminars. We have got Brad's big debates where he basically starts an argument and then we'll see if we just totally divide the audience. You know, which was better, PlayStation or Xbox? Which was better, Commodore 64 or Amiga? We're going to need some security.
What you forgot is that Brad will start an argument and then he'll walk off.
Yeah, I know.
Leaving this big bar fight behind him.
Which is probably going to be the way. Stadia or Luna could be one.
Oh, no, that's a toughie, that.
That's a toughie. Yeah, that could be.
Which is shitter?
Oh, well, Prince is going to say Stadia or Xbox. Fuck you, Prince. I think you need security just for Becca. I know, because Becca's going to be hammered. Becca wants to start at each bar and then go back down to the bottom and start again. It's like playing snakes and ladders. We're going to call it Becca's bar. We're also got some very special challenges, as well as some impromptu ones where Brad's chosen 4 and I've chosen 4, and you can win prizes. There will be exhibition stands, meet and greets, but there are 3 big challenges. We have got a Gallagher competition. If you remember the old 80s game Gallagher, we want to see who can get the highest score throughout the 12 hours of the game. If you do it, our main sponsor, which is Crypto Hunter, we are announcing this now. Crypto Hunter, the guys also based in Manchester and Barry, our main sponsor. They are giving away between £500 and £1,000 of a cryptocurrency wallet. Whoever gets the highest score in that game will walk away with £500 to £1,000. Right? We are doing a Gauntlet charity challenge where you can play Gauntlet, and every time someone dies, we get someone new in. So you're always playing with 4 people. Every time someone goes, £1 goes into the local children's hospice charity. We're doing that. And Johnny, who's here, I think he's still in the chat, and I hope he's still in the chat. Johnny has got a brand new game coming out the week before called Galactoids. And he's doing a Galactoids challenge, but he's making a very special version of the game for the day where there's a version with me and Brad in the game. And the highest scorers, 3 scorers in the game, will get to play live on stage, and someone is going to win some merch, and someone is going to win a copy of that new game. So there you go. Loads of stuff to announce. Next week, we are going to be doing a Facebook live from the venue, some of the videos. We're filming the promo video, taking pictures, and we will be announcing our compare and MC for the event, because we have got that confirmed. And all I'm going to say is she's a very good YouTuber. And that is all I'm going to say. So now people are going to be scouring YouTube for the next 7 days trying to find out who it is. But there you go. So we have confirmed our MC. So NerdCon, people, get your tickets. Shameless plug. Over. There we go. Let's get back to the things. Boom. There you go. There you go. Get your tickets now. They're on sale. Website coming very soon, folks. There you go. Let's talk about some more news. So something I'm excited about. Hello, DeadSec, by the way. Good evening. He's just joined us. Max Payne games. I love the Max Payne games. And it was announced this week they are remaking. Yeah, hang on. Before you start moaning and groaning, they are remaking Max Payne 1 and 2. Now, just to give you some context for people who are not familiar, Max Payne was originally made by Remedy, who are famous for doing Alan Wake, and they've got the new Alan Wake coming out next year, Quantum Break, the award-winning Control, which is still in my top 10 games of all time now, because that game's so fantastic, amongst other things, Crossfire X, which we won't talk about, but generally have made some fantastic games. They are remaking Max Payne 1 and 2. Now, Max Payne 3 is actually owned by Rockstar, and they actually own the franchise. So everyone was like, oh, well, Remedy can't be involved. What they're doing is they are bringing out, in conjunction with Rockstar, so Rockstar are producing it, but Remedy are making this, and they are treating it as a full-on AAA game, right? So we're going to get the guys who made it to actually make the game, and Rockstar are funding it. What could possibly go wrong? This is going to be out, and it's confirmed. We don't know when, but it's coming out for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. Okay? Now, this is what I want you guys to discuss. I'm excited because it's Max Payne, and a lot of people didn't like Max Payne 3, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all 3 games, so I'm excited for this. And Remedy what We think it's going to be out probably the year after Alan Wake 2, because that comes out next year. But my only concern is, let's look at Rockstar's track record recently. The Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition, which was supposed to be an amazing thing that no one asked for, which was a heaping dump of a car wreck. Please don't do this to Max Payne. Chat, Dave, Carl, discuss. Go.
Well, I liked 1 and 2. They were really good games. 3, I say it was okay. I did enjoy it, but it had that problem where you did a bit of shooting, then it was story, cutscenes. You were just sitting back watching a bit of shooting again, more cutscenes. It did that far too much. Whereas with the originals, you had a whole level to go through. It was just action all the way through, and then you would have in between the levels a bit of the story, which back in the original 2 was just done as like comic book panels, wasn't it? Which was quite cool at the time. Yeah. I remember the standout thing in the original game when it first appeared was the slow-mo shooting, which I think it was probably the first game that I remember that put it in there. I think it was after we'd all seen The Matrix, and it was the first game they did the same slow-mo, and everyone wanted to play it, and it was done really well in there. So since Remedy are involved in it, I've got reasonable hopes they could do something decent with it. As long as they don't mess around with it too much and maybe try and get forced to put cutscenes in between parts of action like happened with the third one. As long as it's kept pretty actiony with story just sort of loosely sort of perhaps fitting in between the levels, or perhaps just with stuff you can see through as you're playing through, a bit more of environmental storytelling just to keep everything flowing through. But fingers crossed they'll do a good job. Hopefully Rockstar will leave them alone just to get on with it.
Yeah, and hopefully they don't incorporate Mark Wahlberg into it like they did with the film. I'm not going to lie.
I never watched it.
Do you know what? I don't think that film's that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Seen a lot worse, but it gets so much shit. I've watched that twice. I didn't think it was too bad. Not everyone might agree. Elegant Desires here. She's raided. That's our 4th raid this evening. Hello, Carly. How are you, lovely? Great to see you. What were you playing? Resident Evil Revelations. Nice. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you're having a good evening. Thank you. Carl, I'm going to move swiftly on. Sorry, I'm not being rude, Carly.
No, it's kind of because I'm totally with Andrew. I'm like, what are you going on about?
Oh, you've never played Max Payne?
Do you know, it's like, I'm sure I have, but I feel like it's a Men in Black moment that someone's just put a red light there and it's gone. Like, I've just got nothing on it. Nothing.
So maybe once we finally announce this, you might look at this and you might go, oh, this looks like a cool game then.
Because I've got no reference point. Whereas you might be disappointed because they've missed something or got something wrong, but I'll be like, this is amazing.
Yeah. Reaper says, dances in and says, hello. Hello. How you doing? Carly says, I'm good. And you? Yeah, we completed it. Oh, awesome. You completed Resident Evil Revelations. Are you going to play the second one now? That's my question to you, Carly. There you go. Kegging people after tucking is apparently toxic. It's just called playing Sea of Thieves in it. It's just blowing shit up. But there you go. Prince says, I don't remember much of the gameplay, but I remember the case for it. Oh, that's to do with Sea of Thieves and kegging. We're playing Sea of Thieves tomorrow night, people. There you go. You're going to see how many times DedSec blows me up in the space of 3 hours. Should be interesting. There'll be nothing to the boat left. Nothing. Oh, Max Payne. You were talking about Max Payne. Don't remember much of the gameplay. Oh, okay. Maybe I ain't a fan of the second one. Oh, okay. Just like Resident Evil 7. All right, we'll leave that parked for now. Well, we'll see what gets announced, but my faith is in Remedy, a great game studio. They do take risks, but they do try things that normally work quite well. So fingers crossed they don't do a GTA Definitive Edition. Please don't. Not with that game. That'll just ruin it. Yes, we are going to have fun, Becca. I'm looking forward to Sea of Thieves. If you're wondering what I'm on about, tomorrow night, Sea of Thieves, 9:00, with Becca, Mia, and DedSec, who is determined to basically blow the shit out of me on the game, which will probably happen every 5 minutes at this rate, from what he's saying. So there you go. Let's move on to our next game. This is kind of a new game, but based on a retro game. And it literally was made by one person. This came out last Thursday, as pretty much most of the games this week did. This is on all the PlayStations, all the Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. This is
12 out of 10. 12 out of 10 already.
12 out of 10, right? You're going 12 out of 10, right? But you ain't going to get that right. I'll tell you that now. But there you go. Let's try this. Let's have a look at Slipstream, people. Here we go. There you go, folks. That's Slipstream. Do you want to hear a funny story? I put in for a sponsorship for this and I got turned down.
Let's just slag it off then, shall we?
Let's just rip the fuck
North
out of it.
10.
No, let's not. Because one person made this game. And I've got to say, anybody that can do that, hats off to you, because I wouldn't know where to start. So they've obviously taken good old retro games, like such as a bit like Road Blasters with the transitions where you go left or right, Outrun, which is obviously the biggest thing, and then maybe a little bit of Daytona, because obviously in Outrun you couldn't do, you couldn't. What's the term I'm looking for when you around the corner? Drift. Thank you. Fucking hell, I'm getting old. Yeah. So, but it looks okay for the people at retro. I mean, looking at what people are saying in chat, don't expose. I'm not going to expose you for not liking Resident Evil 7. Don't worry, Carly. Oh shit, too late. I did. Well, I'm going to be clear. Oh yeah, 3 out of 10. Ooh, retro. Me likey. Deadsex says 10. Beck says, what the feck is this? Andrew, 9.25 just for the boomers. Becca, no surprises. I'm going with Dave's score. Yam, I'm just vibing there. I was like, both Carl and me were bopping away to that one. Oh my God, this gives me many vibes from my youth. That said came speed, not game speed. I missed the trailer, so 7.5. Prince went to make a cup of tea, I reckon. 8. And she goes, Dave! For no reason at all. It looks like Lotus Turbo. Oh my God, Lotus Turbo Challenge. I remember.
I'd forgotten about that until I saw that message. I think I had that on the Amstrad. I thought I used to have.
Yeah. 7.5, not sure, just turned up. Well, there you go. You should make a channel point for people to vote to keg. Oh, God, get away, you. Get away. Any given chance to bloody keg me tomorrow night and see if he's made tea. Tea, I'm not a little old lady. All right, and what were you having? Having a shit? I don't know. You know, I was trying to be polite. Carl, I'll start with you. Lotus Challenge. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I absolutely loved this game. Like, the trailer looked amazing. And I've been on this show twice now, and I've never said I'd go and buy a game. I said I'd play it if it was free on the PS thing.
Yeah.
I would 100% go and buy this game because it looked fun. Like, I do a lot of things like the Formula 1 game. I do iRacing on PC, which is very serious, hardcore racing. This is just fun. And it made the first thing that I thought of when I saw this was Outrun. And it just took me back to like early days of like just racing in arcade machines and then on early days of consoles. I thought this was absolutely amazing. I 100% would go out and buy this game tomorrow.
This is why when I saw the trailer, because just hearing about it, I was like, I'm not that fussed. And I saw the trailer, and that's why I put in for the sponsorship. I mean, yeah, they turned me down. Fair enough. I'm never going to get every sponsorship under the sun. But I think I would have enjoyed this, playing this for a couple of hours on stream. It bring back some good memories. Dave?
8.5 because it'll piss off the young people.
Yeah, I know. I love that. He said, 8.5 because it just piss off the young people. There you go. Dave, what say you?
Actually, I'm the opposite to you. So I look at that trailer and it doesn't interest me in the slightest bit. It's like an age of racing game that I'm just not interested in revisiting at all. If I was going to play like an arcade race, I'd go for like the recent Forza Horizons. I can't say I'd fancy going back and playing that. It just looks a bit, graphic-wise, it's hitting its retro mark, but to me, it just looks old and tired, and a type of racing game I'm just Not interested in. Forget it.
No,
Not for
Dave,
me at
don't
all.
preach it.
Becky's like, preach it, Dave, preach it, hallelujah.
I mean, fair play for one guy making it. But it's not for me, I'm afraid.
Okay. I would not enjoy this, but because of the retroness, I'll give it a 6.5. Oh, hi, Sophie. I forgot you were still there. Rude, Prince. Rude. Phantom Wolf said, on a tangent, best thing we just did, our ranger said, I got arrested for public indecency. Paid the court says and said, darling, I'm the definition of public indecency. That's just random. The most racing game I played is Mario Kart.
Quality.
See, I don't get this on bloody sponsorship, but bloody Little Panda gets to play it and completes it. Bastard. Ray says, I have to head off now to get ready for bed. Bye. So, guys, thank you so much, Ray, for the raid. Greatly appreciate it. Lots of love. Can we get another shout out for Ray, please? I met her at OLL 22 that I was at last weekend. She's absolutely lovely. Her channel's fantastic. Please do go give her a follow. In fact, fuck it. Everyone give her a follow now. I'm coming down and secretly hunting you down and murdering you all. If that's not an incentive, I don't know what is. There you go.
If you murder everyone, he's going to turn up to NerdCon. You haven't thought that through.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
No, but once they've paid for the ticket, it's not refundable.
Yeah.
So.
Most tickets sold for NerdCon, but no one shows up. Brad is just sitting there going,
I can just picture the tumbleweeds going between the arcade cabs.
Brad's big debate. There you go. Murder them after NerdCon. All right, we'll murder after NerdCon. There you go. Was checking emails. I gave my opinion when I saw the first 3 seconds of the game. Sophie did. Right, let's get your scores on this then. Come on then, Dave. You're obviously going to give a low score. Go for it. Chat, get your scores in now, people.
Well, for me, I'd give it a low score. But if I'm guessing at what it got average, it's probably going to scratch that retro itch for more people. So let's go for a 6.75.
6.75. Okie dokie. Carl?
I'm going to give it a 9.5. That's where I'm going to pitch it at.
Andrew's going in with a 9.25. Phantom says, very different, either 8 or a 5. What? Totally random. If you need a murderer, you know where to find me. Cheers, Soph. I'm same as Dave as always. All right. 8 because of the retro, 5 because it's racing. Fair enough. Ancient says an 8. Any more scores? Last chance, people. This is Slipstream, which came out last Thursday on all the PlayStations, all the Xboxes, and Nintendo Switch. I forgot, but I said a 7.5. I have bows. Do you want to borrow one to murder? Oh, don't get Sophie started. She'll be picked with arrows all day long. I can tell you, this got a 7.25, which is not bad. It's all right. This is the day and age where everyone goes, 7? Oh, it must be shit then. No, 7's still decent, people, especially in our world. So there you go. Right. More news. Now, this is going to excite a lot of people. I don't know if Pixie's still in the chat because I know it's going to excite people. They literally dropped a trailer. What the hell's a trailer? Dropped a trailer yesterday for a certain group of fans that would love a certain group of games, and they're probably going to lose their shit over this. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been announced that Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming out. So I was waiting for a fanfare, but then nothing happened. Remember what? Now, I'm not a fan of the games. I'm going to say now, I'm not really a fan. There's a lot of pass. Sophie's like, no. I know there's people that love these tumbleweed shit. Okay, most of the people not loving. Not a big fan of Kingdom Hearts. All right, fuck it. We'll skip this story. No. Kingdom Hearts 4. The reason this is interesting. Kingdom Hearts 4 is coming out. It looks very different to the other games. Some bits from the trailer is making it look like it's set more in a real world. Now, Becca said, what the fuck is Kingdom Hearts? Kingdom Hearts is an RPG game which mixes Disney characters into it. So you get Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, Goofy, but then you get Captain Jack Sparrow, Buzz Lightyear. You know, you get, I don't know, fucking Frozen, all that lot in it. It's insane. So people have been watching the trailer very closely. Oh, good. Ancient's up for this. And they're very much beloved games. People love these games. What they've said is if you look closely at the trailer, considering Disney now owns Star Wars, what we were talking about earlier with Lego and that, if you look very closely, there's a nod to something to do with Star Wars. Now, bearing in mind that nearly every other Disney property has turned up, does that mean with the new direction they're going with Kingdom Hearts, they could drop in Star Wars characters? And that's the big thing. Could that happen? Could that
I don't see why not. I mean, they dropped parts of the Caribbean into the third one, didn't they? So
they did.
There isn't. They couldn't drop something else in. Well, they could drop Marvel in as well, as Prince just mentioned.
Well,
they own that.
That's it. Could Tony Stark turn up in it? Who knows? So what do we think? Do you think this could be good, or a good thing, or a bad thing?
I know. Probably story-wise, it'll only ever make sense to the people who've played like every version of it since it's been out. Because I think for anyone new, it doesn't really make any sense. I think the story's gone a bit batshit crazy over the years from what I've read about it. But I can't say I'm interested. I think was it Ancient's the only one who shouted up that got any interest in it.
Oh no, DeadSec loves Kingdom Hearts. So I want to know because Ancient said, "I know, I saw the trailer. I'm very excited for it." They've also done The Lion King and The Nightmare Before Christmas within it. I want to know why you guys are excited. And then Sophie said, "No, it's a bad thing." Why do you think it's a bad thing, Sophie? I want to hear. TNBC, really? That's cool. What does that mean? TNBC. That's cool. I'm crap with acronyms. The game looks shit. Okay. Yeah. I'm hoping Star Wars comes to it. Here we go. Really want a lightsaber keyblade. That would be fucking epic. Oh, The Nightmare Before Christmas. Sorry. Yeah, so Prince was saying, oh, The Nightmare Before Christmas is one in the previous games. That's cool. Right, I get the thing there. There you go. Carl, your thoughts on this?
I've never heard of it. When you said that it was number 4, I was thinking I'd never heard of 1, 2, and 3. But then the idea of bringing in Star Wars characters and other Disney ones, does that make it possible that Chewie could walk in there and rip Mickey Mouse's arms off?
That would be amazing.
That's the sort of game I'm into.
Someone could mod that on the PC version, definitely.
Elsa's there saying, let it go, and then Luke just comes up.
And then,
that would be good.
That would be good.
That's the 5th edition sorted.
The 18 rated edition. Guys, do your best Chewbacca impressions. All right, go on then. Shall I go first?
Go for it, mate.
It's going to be terrible. Can't do it. Dave, go on.
Oh, God. There you go. That's the best I can conjure up.
Better than mine.
Can't do it. I'm going to have a Lando Norris moment and just be like, I'm crying.
It's like, I know what it sounds like, but that sound's not going to come out of my mouth. Jesus. I think Star Wars could be crap. They could just beam them up to the Enterprise every 2. Oh!
Whoa.
Oh,
blasphemy there.
Don't start that shit. Don't start that. I say because the trailer might change my mind. Fair enough. She thought Carl's was funny. I mean, at the end of the third one, they led on to a new one, and there were still lots of stories within the universe. Okay, see, you and Pixie, I don't think Pixie's anymore. She loves the Kingdom Hearts game. Chewie, let Elsa get off a cliff. Letting Elsa off a cliff. Yeah. That just sounds me like me gargling mouthwash. I waited 12 fucking years for Kingdom Hearts 3. I skipped work to play it. God, I hope you ain't got the same boss. You'll get in trouble now. But we'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. But yeah, we'll see if it's any good. They have also announced for you Kingdom Hearts fans out there, because there's at least 3 in the chat, so that's something. They're bringing out a mobile game, and that's coming out this year, and that's called Missing Link. So if you want to get your fix before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out, go get the mobile game and probably spend about £1,000 on microtransactions. There you go. Let's do another game before we do our 100 games to play before you die. Let's do this. This, again, is not a new game. This was a PlayStation exclusive when the PlayStation 5 came out. They then brought out an Ultimate Edition on PS5. I played it back in January on one of the streams. It's now made its way finally onto Xbox and PC. This is Godfall the Ultimate Edition. Let's have a look at the trailer. Let us know your thoughts in the chat. Here we go.
Macros, our fight has just begun.
This is pointless. I cannot be stopped.
3 or 300, your plans end here. Impressive.
You can count on us.
The day of your sacrifice has come.
Come on, we still have a war to end.
There you go, folks. That is Godfall Ultimate Edition, which is already out on PlayStation 5 and PS4. It came out a while ago, but now finally makes its way to Xbox and PC. I played the PS5 version, I think it was January. It seems only like a couple of weeks ago, but knowing me, it was probably back in January. It was all right. It's a hack and slash, grab loot, upgrade your character, go attack more characters. It's not quite Dead Souls. Dead Souls, that's not even a game. It's not quite Dark Souls, forgive me, in the fact that you need to learn the attacks and that. It is more of a hack and slash, go in and kick the shit out of people. But is it any better? That's the question. Dave, I'll start with you with Godfall on this one.
The impression I always got of this game was that it's got its nice flashy graphics that, they do look nice, but then the actual gameplay was a bit lacking. I mean, it's trying to be one of those looter games that, you're meant to just, play through, get more loot, reach the end game and just keep grinding and grinding to get better and better loot. But from what I read, the mission design's pretty boring. There's quite a lot of copy and paste to it. So there's not really much of a story there, if at all. It just doesn't look particularly good. I was looking at a review earlier and somebody was suggesting that if you could find it cheap, it's probably worth like a single playthrough of like 20 hours, but it's not one that you're going to want to grind away at for like hundreds and hundreds of hours, I wouldn't say. So even though it's finally on Xbox and PC, care less about it.
Yeah.
Skip.
Nearly fell asleep watching the trailer. Says it all. A lot of people putting scores in. My mate played this, looked god awful, but he'll probably get rated an 8. It's rated high. Deadsec said, loves this, 10 out of 10. Sophie, 7.5. 8.25, Jesse. Looks medieval Destiny. Loads of people saying it looks like Destiny in some ways, mixed with Dark Souls. Big Jesse, it was a very pretty game. Graphically, it looked great. Gameplay-wise, I only did the one stream of it. Would I go back to it? Probably not. I suppose it depends if you like those sort of games. Carl, your thoughts?
I was watching that thinking this looks a really good game. I'd like to have a play of this. Graphics look amazing, but then about halfway through I was thinking maybe the graphics look too good and actually it's lacking some substance, and other people have said about like the actual gameplay of it. So I think it's one where it looks probably a lot better than what it is in reality, but I'd give it a go because it looked like it'd be fun to have a go with.
Yeah. I think this thing is a couple of people messaged me before I did that stream and said, it's crap, don't bother. I thought it was all right. I didn't dislike it. Would I continue to play it day in, day out? Probably not. I think if I'd finished the campaign, that'd be it and never play it again. I think if you can get it cheap, it might be worth it. But as you said, graphics don't necessarily make everything. Becca was like, I nearly fell asleep while watching the trailer. That says it all. It was really cheap on Amazon the other month, and I still skipped it. Becca's going at Big Jesse says 8. It looks like a good one-day game. Yeah, hammer it out play it on the day. Done, dusted. It's not on Game Pass. I think if it gains a Game Pass, people might go, yeah, go on, give it a whirl. They gave it away on PlayStation Plus. That's how I ended up playing it. I think they gave it away maybe that's why I played it in January.
That wasn't the full game, though, was it? Wasn't that like a championship edition where it was like you're playing the end game content?
Yeah, but you could play a certain amount of the start of the game. So, because I was only doing a 3-hour stream, I kind of did that and then a bit of end game content. So it was kind of felt like you didn't get the 2 main campaigns, but there was still a big hour and a half, maybe 2 hours that was actually campaign that you could play. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So to get used to the game. But there you go. Right. So scores, Dave. Let's start with you, and then let's get some scores in the chat.
I'll go for a 7.
Okay. So that means Becca's going for a 7. Big Jesse's going for an 8. We've got 7.75 from Sophie, 8.25 from Andrew, 10 out of 10 from Deadset. Prince, what are you going for, Prince? I don't think I actually saw. I know you said it might get an 8, but I don't think that was your score. Carl, what were you going for?
I've kind of flip-flopped between 7.75 up to 8.25, so I'm going to settle on 8.
Okay. Prince is going for an 8 as well. So, Godfall Ultimate Edition, also out last Thursday. Loads of games came out last Thursday. On all the Xboxes and PC, got a 7.5. Wow, my voice has gone. 7.5, folks. Is that bloody Chewbacca impression? Oh, that might have sounded a better Chewbacca impression, actually, me choking on air. But there you go. So there you go, folks. So it's nothing amazing, but go check it out. Now, for those of you that tune in every week, you know we are doing 100 games before you die. We play, this can be anything from new games to old games. What we do is we play a trailer that neither Dave, the chat, or our guest knows about. And if the majority of the people say they played it, it gets scratched off on our chart of fame. Now, there's already some we've done. Ones that we have done: Tetris, Angry Birds, Call of Duty 4, Another World, Far Cry 3, Asteroids, Batman Arkham Asylum, Battlefield Bad Company. Now, last week was the first one that only our guest had played and no one else, which is Fight Night 2. So if anyone has played Fight Night 2, let us know, because then we can scratch it off. But like literally only one person, so we need the majority. But what is this week's video? Let's have a look, people. And if you've played this, let us know in the chat, and let's see if we can scratch it off. Because once we finish 100 games, it's going up on my wall at the back. Here we go with this week's video. Let us know, folks.
Your blood's gonna get. I knew it was. The devil came. He's a bad burglar. So death is coming. Purge this town. I know your name. And I'm gonna cut you down. You can all run if you want to. You can all hide if you need, but I'm gonna cut you down.
There you go, folks. That is Bloodborne. Now, whether you played Bloodborne or the superb remaster, which I know Dave holds very highly in regard, because it obviously came out as one of the PS5 launch titles, didn't it, Dave?
No, you're thinking of Demon Souls there, which got remastered. Bloodborne hasn't been remastered.
Damn it. Okay, it's not been remastered. Not what I said. So it shows you how much I've never played this, so I can't scratch this off. A lot of people have. So Shadow's played it. Okay. Andrew hasn't. DeadSec has. Prince has. Anybody else who's played this, please say in the chat. Dave, the host that knows the most. Yes, even games that I don't know about, he knows about. Carl, have you ever played Bloodborne?
I can't say 100%, but I think yes, I have.
Okay.
It looks really familiar, like I played it, and looking at the date of when it came out, I'd have been mad into PlayStations back then. Okay.
So this is looking good. Big Jesse's never done it. I think this is about 50-50. So I'm going to give this a yes. I'm going to say that this is happening. So we're scratching this off. Let's see what we get. Oh, won a $5. No, I'm joking. I want a packet of cigarettes. So we have got a very nice scythe, or the weapon that he uses, or the character uses. I'll hold that up to camera without trying to give away a couple of next week's. There's a scythe. There you go. There we go. What will next week's be? Oh, I like next week's. I can tell you I played it. Looks like Dishonored to me. It's more like Dark Souls, if I'm right in thinking. Got that right? It's more like Dark Souls than Dishonored, but it's got that kind of vibe.
Yeah,
So
it's that
go.
classic From Software type of gameplay.
It is.
Rock hard bosses.
But there you go. Our
game.
first 10 of 100 games. So, yeah, only 90 more episodes to go, Dave, on this.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Okay. It's like Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes. Fucking hell, 4 hours. We'll see. So, let's move on. More news. We said we were going to talk about Epic again. And we got another Epic lawsuit. To do with... I'm here all week, ladies and gentlemen. Sadly, I am. I'm here all week.
People don't have to watch that.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to watch. You can watch someone else. There's plenty of other people on Twitch. We have got Epic is getting another lawsuit, this time from a choreographer. I was going to say. Hello, Chelsea. How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. So, Fortnite's in trouble again, ladies and gents. But because of dance moves. So, those who are not familiar with Fortnite, your characters that can be everything and anything, and again, we're going to talk about more Fortnite later, can also dance. And they have brought out things before where people have tried to sue Epic and Fortnite because of dance moves. But this choreographer, why the fuck I can't say that, I don't know. Choreographer is said that he created a very specific dance in 2020. And they have stolen a dance. Go on, Mag. Hit the whoa. There we go. And he's done a step-by-step video of his dance alongside the Fortnite animation. And it is like for like. Now, whereas Epic have got away with this before, they don't think they'll get away with this because they're basically, Epic have stated, choreography and something isn't something that's just owned. Therefore, we can use it if we want. It's out there in the public. The choreographer's argument is, this is something I spent days, months, years creating for a music video, for a music tour that is then used. So, question is, do you side with Fortnite or do you side with the choreographer? See, I can see it now. I'd like to hear your opinions. Let us know in the chat. I'm siding with the choreographer because it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort to put dance routines together. And for Epic to basically say, yeah, it don't mean shit, is bang out of order. So, fuck you, Fortnite. Even if I've got an upcoming partnership with them. That'll get me in trouble. But there you go. Carl, I'll start with you.
I'm going to side with the choreographer on this one because I don't think you can't do individual bits of a dance move because that's like a musician saying, oh, you can't use a G chord because that's mine. But when you put all of the chords together that you spent hours and days putting together, I love the people are correcting on how it's choreographer.
Yeah.
He's put all that together. So as long as he can prove that he'd come up with that before, it was in Fortnite, 100%.
Yeah.
It's with them and Dig Deep.
Yeah. They stole the floss, didn't they? They did, and they got away with it. The old flossing back, and the thing with the backpack as well. They got away with that. But so we'll have to see, Dave.
Yeah, I think morally you're going to come down the side of the choreographer, but then it just depends what the legal precedents are behind copyrighting. The dance moves that this guy's put together.
Yeah.
Has he been out? Can he copyright them? Can he copyright a dance? I don't know. I know it's tricky when it's short. Dance moves. That's why they haven't got done for a lot of the other ones beforehand.
Yeah.
But if it was like a huge dance number, I don't know. Can you copyright it? If you can't copyright it, then it's probably tough shit. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
People can complain about it, but if you can't do anything about it legally, you're probably stuck.
Seeing how much Epic makes from that game, don't you think they would at least say to him, like they've said when they've done the crossovers, when we've had different characters, whether it be Alien or Street Fighter, they get a bit of money for that. Those software houses get money for that. So don't you think they'd say, well, if we want to use that, we'll give you a bit of something for that? Wouldn't you think that would be the decent thing to do, rather than just?
It would be the decent thing to do, but they're a big multinational corporation who've got very expensive lawyers on retainer. So if they don't have to, they won't. It's as simple as that. Sometimes
they settle, that sets a precedent, doesn't it?
Then loads of people come after them, so they'll fight it, and chances are they could well win.
You do an NDA and settle out of court, so he can't tell that he's been settled.
Yeah,
they end up doing something like that.
But then hopefully
if they have to,
millions for his work, which will pay off, because sometimes, as we know, musicians and performers work years and years and hardly make a bloody cent. So hopefully it won't work. But then, probably cost less to give him something than to pay the lawyers to fight it. True. They normally get away with the TikTok dances, but it was for a music video or tour. That's exactly. It wasn't for TikTok. It was made for a dance video, which was then used for that same artist for a tour. I can't remember which artist it was, though. That's intellectual property at this point. Just watch the video, and it is identical. You can't argue it. That's what I said. This is why I think he's got a good case. He got the video and then got the video of the Fortnite thing and went, look, it's the same thing. So there we go. So we'll see. We'll see. I would like to think that something does happen, because then it might stop Epic being such cheeky bastards in the future.
It'd be nice if it did, because otherwise you say they just keep pinching stuff all the time.
Yeah, and pay money to people. Now, granted, other games companies might not need money, or other musical artists like Ariana Grande on that, but still, credit where credit's due. If they're going to use stuff, pay the people that did it. Simple as. There you go. That's my epic rant there. Moving on to another game. We're going more retro again, pretty much. This came out a couple of weeks ago, actually. This came out a week and a half ago. Just we didn't get the reviews in until literally the last couple of days. This is called Agent Intercept, which is out on all the PlayStations, Nintendo Switch, and Xboxes. It is a revamp of a mobile game. Let's have a look at this and see what you think. Let us know in the chat. Here goes nothing.
Oh, you really know how to make an entrance.
Sometimes science is an inexact science.
Ha! Didn't see me coming, did you? Try to keep up.
Let's show them the agency still has teeth!
Time for the breakdowns!
Your efforts are futile.
Engage aerial mode!
Impossible! How
How can one agent?
Agent.
There you go, folks. That is Agent Intercept. My God, it's like Fast and Furious had a baby. And
that's exactly what I've just written down.
Fast and Furious. There's probably a space level as well. Sorry if you haven't seen the last Fast and Furious, but there you go. Prince says a 6 already. 6.75 we're going for on this. Carl, I'll start with you. So this was a mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't very well received, even though it won a couple of awards. It wasn't as well received on mobile. But now they've re-updated it and revigorated for consoles. Do you think it will transition well?
When it first started, I was like, okay, this looks cool. I'd have a little go at this. And then as it progressed more, I was like, this is starting to feel like it's a bit of a rip-off of James Bond. But rather than having like a classical silver car or black car, you've got the orange bright Gary one. And then you got Agent Penny, whatever. I was like, yeah, well, that's like Money Penny.
Yeah.
And then as it progressed with like rockets and stuff, I was like, this is like James Bond and Fast and the Furious made a baby.
Yeah.
And then I just got distracted by the whole thing then. And I was like, yeah, it's lost its moment.
Okay. Interesting. There's a lot of great elements to this, but it looks terrible. It looks like a great idea that has been handed in as last-minute homework. Hello, Kitty Corns. How you doing? Good to see you. Kitty Corn says, also look like your standard GTA 5 transform race. There you go. Chelsea's having a look. Thank you, Chelsea. We'll see you in a little bit. Dave?
When you mentioned it as a mobile title, that kind of it brings back something I was listening to in a review earlier where they were saying about the gameplay being quite basic. Kind of explains it really if it's based on a mobile title because control-wise you're limited on those. This looks like the sort of thing you'd probably play for about an hour and then get a bit bored of it because it would just be a bit too samey. It didn't really look like there was much gameplay there. Just follow something, ram something, shoot something. It looked very basic and dull. So even though you said it had a couple of awards in the one part of the video, I can't really see why. I can't see what was good about it. It looked a bit shit.
Okay.
Definitely one to skip.
Okay. All right. Well, chat, get your scores in. What did you think that Agent Intercept, which came out 2 Thursdays ago on PlayStation, Switch, and all the Xboxes? Let us know your scores in chat now. Carl, what do you reckon this got?
I think it might just sneak up to a 6.
Sneaky 6 from Carl. Dave, what say you?
I'm going to go for a 5.75.
Okay, 5.75. Okay. Sophie said, I didn't actually watch the trailer, but I'm going for a 7.5. Kitty Corns said a 5. Big Jesse says a 6.75. Folks, get your last couple of scores. I'll give you a few seconds left to do this. And then we're going to talk about our last news story. And then we've got 3 more games to get through for the last half an hour of the show. Sophie is being generous. Yes, she is. Becca's saying a 6. There we go. Prince, what say you? Go on, get your score in, Prince. Now, Sophie, bless her, hasn't got a single one right so far this evening. But people are voting low. So okay. You changing? Are you sure? Prince says, I said a 6. Nice. Sophie, you sure you want to change? Oh, my God, GTA. It's not GTA, but it's like a poor version of GTA, Chelsea. No. Okay, you don't want to change. Good. Because he got a 7.5.
That? Really?
Yes. It got a 7.5.
Paid review, I'm sure.
There you go. Sticking with the first guess. Prince, can we give Sophie a shout out, please? Yay, she got one right. There you go.
7.5 for that is the equivalent of about 1:45 when you've been out on the lash. You know how your standards change.
I know. It's bad, isn't it? Oh, it says, just after hints as well. Look, I mean, we've got to let her get one right. She's like, what game was it? She didn't even know what game she was voting for. It was Agent Intercept, which looked shit, but there you go. Damn, I was 0.75 out. There you go. Chelsea says, I love my GTA racing. Oh, GTA racing is cool. Same, so bad at it, though. There you go. Right, So our last news story of the night. Now, last week, me and Dave talked about Elden Ring and the fact that people have been speedrunning it. Now, Prince dropped me a line earlier today, and Prince, just put in the chat, what is the quickest speed run that's been done so far? That's not what I'm going to ask you guys. Sophie just put, fuck that. Just Google that game. How did that get 7.5? There you go. Prince, what was the quickest Elden Ring speed run? 9 minutes. So someone has now, we had 13 minutes last week. 13 minutes was the quickest speed run of new game.
That's been beaten already. It's quicker than that now. I did just Google it.
Shit. So someone's beaten the 9 minutes.
6 minutes, 59 seconds.
Shit. 6 minutes, 59 seconds. Okay. All right. So next week, we're going to see if someone can do it in less than, I don't even know. Yeah, even Prince is like, damn. Prince literally messaged me that just a couple of hours ago to say that. But that's
it's probably the same guy who keeps beating his records.
It probably is.
It's just a case of, I mean, it's good. Obviously, good the way he does it. Cause he's got to be like frame perfect. But he's just doing a particular thing to just keep glitching through the game to get to bits really early that you shouldn't be able to get to.
I know. So it's just glitches. Because Becca's like, how does that work? How does that work? It's glitches. Diva, hello. Good to see you. Thank you so much for that sub. You are now 12 months you have been subscribed. Thank you so much for your 12-month sub. And you were last playing Fortnite. Funny, we were talking about that earlier. So there you go. Hope you had a good stream of Fortnite. But yeah, so, I mean, now this is where we're going to go with this. We have also seen how people speed run the game, but with weird things. We talked about the fact that someone was playing Dark Souls and speed run that by just throwing shit at enemies and not using any weapons. We then had last week where people were speedrunning it without actually attacking enemies. They would use a thing where they get other enemies to attack the other enemies so they die. This week, and this is where we're going to get you guys to guess and the chat, right? There is a special move that you can do where your character uses their arse to attack. So they basically do like a butt slam. They jump up in the air and slam the bad guys with their arse. Right? Just like in wrestling.
Wait for the legal suit from Naomi.
Yeah. How long do we reckon it took this speedrunner to complete the game by only using... Warrior does it, he says. Using that move. I want your guesses, chat. And Carl and Dave, let's go. Big Jesse.
I'm going to go for...
seconds. That's my annual sex quote.
4.5 hours.
4.5 hours, says Dave.
So you can only butt slam, right?
Can only butt slam, yes.
I'm going to go for 13 minutes and 46 seconds.
Wow, that's very precise. But then you are an accountant, so that's
it was me that did it.
It was you. Ta-da! Big reveal. 15 minutes. I don't know, says Andrew. Sophie, 1 hour. Any other guesses? How long did you think it took a speedrunner to butt slam his way through Elden Ring and complete the game, only using the front
butt slamming through Elden Ring.
Butt slamming through, yeah. Woo! 25 minutes, says Kitty Corns. Becca says I'm going with 9 minutes. Prince says 45 minutes. Right, I'm going to tell you all, folks. Some of you are way off, way off. It took 2 hours. 2 hours to butt slam the night through. There you go. I like the fact that Big Jesse puts 2 hours after I've said it. I mean, not the best technique for those. I mean, the actual name for the move is called a Grand Slam. But we prefer butt slam. But there you go. 2 hours. DeadSec puts 2 hours after as well. You can't have that. And Becca, 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours. I mean, yeah, change your answers after I've said it. You lot. Give over, you lot are kidding. Big Jesse, DeadSec, Becca, you can't change your answers. Bloody 2 hours after I said 2 hours. But there you go. So what are we going to have next week, Dave? Completing the game while standing on your head?
I bet someone could do it. If someone hasn't already, someone's probably going to connect it to one of those Ring Fit controllers from the Switch.
Oh.
Or someone could break out one of the old guitars from Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero. They did that with
that
Dark Souls, didn't they?
Yeah.
They played Guitar Hero, Dark Souls. Maybe they will do that. It's the same guy. Yes, it is the same guy. It is the same guy that we talked about last week that did the speedruns. And the 7 minutes. So there you go. There you go, folks. Right, our last couple of games for tonight. Let's do this. Now we're really going back to the classics. This is a collection of games. Had 10 different games back from the 80s. I think it might even be. Well, we'll see. It says the years on the games. This is Taito, not Potato. Taito, the people who made the actual arcade machines. This is their Taito Milestones, a collection of retro arcade games. Let's have a look at the trailer, see what you think. Here goes. Now, I'm actually not going to lie. I only remembered 3 of those games. I know I've played them. The skiing one, the ninja game, and the elevator action. I remember that. That's probably the one that I remember the most. He says it looks like it can be played on a potato. Everyone's hungry now because everyone's talking about potatoes. I'm just going to show you this. This is not a joke. Obviously, I did my potato stream last week. Carl won't know this, but I was dressed up as a potato while playing Paw Patrol, as you do. To celebrate the fact I'd hit over 900 followers, over 1,000 followers now. Thank you, everyone. While we were at OLL, Lizzie found this. Taito. Camera won't fit. It's got a little potato coming out of the ground, sticking its tongue out, just like my character. Taito. So there you go. Just random.
Does that remind you of Brad?
Does Brad look like a potato? I remember those social media comments, yeah. Which one's Brad? Oh, God. That's a Diglett. It is a Diglett, actually, but we're calling it a potato. No drugs are involved in the potato stream. That's what you think, especially if I had to play Paw Patrol. I didn't complete it. I had 2 more levels to do. I couldn't finish it in the 3 hours. Apparently, you need 4 hours to complete the game. I only did a 3-hour stream. But there you go. But it was good. I actually quite enjoyed Paw Patrol. It was all right. Anyway, back to this. Tato's. Calling you out, Mag. Calling you out in your horse. Is that a cow shit or horse shit?
Bullshit, I'd say.
Bullshit. But it's a potato. She bought it me. She didn't know it was a Diglett. She bought it me because she thought it was a potato. So we're calling him a potato. I know it's to do with Pokemon, but I don't give a shit. I don't watch Pokemon or anything. There you go. I've just lost 1,000 viewers like that. So, Taito, Milestones. Do any of you guys remember those games? I only remember 3 out of 10.
I remember the ninja one. And I think that elevator action one looked familiar. Yeah. The rest of it was just, no, I didn't recognise it. Too old before I started gaming.
Night Safe, too old before you started gaming, blimey. Carl, what about you?
Yeah, so 3, I think I remembered 3. So Ninja Warriors, I think we've all got that one. Haley Comet. I remember that. And Alpine Ski.
Yeah, I remember Alpine Ski. That was the first one that popped up. I was like, I remember that. Yeah.
And then I was thinking, imagine speed running that.
1 minute. Ding, gone.
So yeah, I remember those 3, and it's kind of like, this is cool. I like the kind of the throwbacks to the 80s and early days of gaming.
I mean, this is out on Nintendo Switch. This came out last Friday. If anyone's oh no, actually, sorry, this comes out this Friday. It's not out yet. It comes out this Friday. Sorry, my apologies. I don't know how. The thing is, if it was on anything else, I'd probably say it's probably not going to be that expensive. But I'm feeling this is going to be really expensive on Nintendo Switch. Dave's going to do a Google now. But I don't know. As a collection of old classic games, I like it, but I'd probably buy it cheap. I wouldn't go out and buy it brand new. Is that the same sort of thoughts, Carl?
Yeah, definitely.
I wouldn't buy it.
No.
They just
Have
all
you
look
just seen
crap.
the price?
No, I was just looking around so I could find it on the Nintendo eShop. Give me a second. Come back to me and I'll find it in a minute.
Okay.
But I thought it looked pretty rubbish.
Oh, okay. Chat, get your scores in. It gives me retro vibes, so I kind of like it. Get your scores in. What did you think? Taito Milestones, which is out this Friday, folks. What do you think this scored in the reviews?
35 quid. Do one.
35 quid too much.
£5 maybe.
This one. You can give whole numbers or halves for this one, people. Kitty Corns is going for a 6. I'm going with Dave. What say Dave then?
Well, Prince has beat me too. I was going to go for 6.5.
6.5. Okay. Kitty Corn says, 4. Now I know the price. Okay. You can stick with that or you can stick with the original. Let us know. Sig Jesse says 6. He went 6.25. Then he had whole numbers or half numbers. Carl, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I reckon 6.5.
Okay, 6.5. Just copy me then, Dave, says Prince.
That's it.
6.5. So Becca gets a 6.5. I can tell you this got 6 out of 10. Now Kitty Corns goes 4. Laugh out loud. Changed it. Give Kitty Corns a shout out anyway. I'm being nice tonight. Give her a. There you go. Better off getting the original stuff. You probably buy it. Arcade machine's cheaper than that. 35 quid. But there you go. Jesse gets a shout out as well. There you go. Woo! First one of the night. There you go. Congratulations. Go follow those lovely people. There you go. Kitty Corns was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 recently. So there you go. Next one. This was a game that Dave said he was interested in. Xbox did their indie showcase a couple of weeks ago. And this was one of the games that we pulled out of the showcase. And Dave said, I like the look of this. This came out, surprise, surprise, last Thursday, like everything else that did in the last week. This is Chinatown Detective Agency, which is out for PC and Xbox One. So here we go with the trailer.
The world is a scary place.
What are you doing, Philip?
These days, scarier than ever.
We're dealing with something serious here. I think you're the perfect asset to help us come to a conclusion.
First, a trade war. Then a real one. Then the collapse of government. And the slow death of law and order.
The misery could certainly be profitable for the both of us.
Know anything about that, Miss Nama?
After all the hopes and dreams of utopia. After all the promises of kings and revolutionaries. Here we are, at downfall's doorstep.
Certainly don't shy away from poking a haunted nest.
Not the best time to be alive.
You will go straight to hell!
Oh, shit.
But with a license to operate, a dingy little office in Chinatown, and a client with a problem that needs taking care of.
Welcome to my little kingdom.
Well, you can get by just fine.
So, what do you think?
Go, that's Chinatown Detective Agency, which came out on Xbox and PC last Thursday. Kitty Corns goes like, wait, these are new games? Yes, these are new games we're talking about, but they're doing a lot of retro games at the moment. Gray, how you doing? How you doing? He's been on the painkillers, bless him, all this time. Just woke up to go to the toilet, thought I'd said hi. Thank you for that. Didn't need to know about the toilet bit, but I hope you're feeling better. He's got a very bad back at the moment. Looks like a Game Boy Advance game. This could be the profiteroles for the both of us. Prince says, next week, I'm going to do it blind, not watching trailers, just going to vote base the name, but I'm going to give it a 7. Giving it a 7. Diva, thank you for the lurk. We'll see you in a little bit. Dave, you were quite looking forward to this game, weren't you? This is now out on Game Pass, by the way, so you can get this free.
Yeah, I've got it downloaded. Haven't had a chance to play it yet. Too busy with Elden Ring. I'll get to it at some point. But what appealed to me with this one, I mean, there's been other retro games tonight that haven't appealed to me, but this one does, because it reminds me of the point and click adventure games I used to play.
Yeah.
From like the old LucasArts classics and Sierra adventure games. It's got that nice sort of retro art pixel style to it that always appeals to me. So that grabbed my attention when I first saw it. I quite like the sound of it. You got to solve cases. It looks quite cool. The one thing that I didn't know about it, which I read and saw a review earlier, is that there'll be bits in the game with the puzzling where there's nothing in the game to actually help you solve it. The game is expecting you to go and do some research online to perhaps say look up an airport code or find some information about, I guess, like I say, a painting or something else in the game. Not just go and find someone else's walkthrough, which is probably what's going to come up first in your Google search, but actually go and try and find some information out online to help you with the puzzle. A review I did see earlier did say that sometimes it's a bit too clever for its own good in what it's doing, and it can get a bit, can be actually quite hard to actually try and solve it because of what it's expecting you to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's really going to be that great a game from what I read earlier. I think it's going to end up being a bit average, unfortunately, but I'll probably still give it a go. Since it's on Game Pass, it's not going to cost me anything extra to play it. I'll have a look and see what it's like.
Give it a whirl. Okay, Carl, your thoughts?
It started off really good. It looked like a good, fun game to play, and one that I'd download. I may even buy it and play it. But as I was listening to what Dave was saying, like the whole thing about you've got to then go and do like real world research to go and then continue playing the game. I'm like, I don't think I want to do that, because I want to play a game to escape. I don't want to then have to keep coming back into the real world and stop starting it. So I was starting to downgrade the game in my head then from that point onwards. But it looked like a fun game. And was it Andrew that said it looked like a DS game?
Yes.
Kind of get where he's coming from with that.
Yeah.
But I'm liking the retro games that it's like, I like the vibe that it's bringing across. It's very simple. Whether that translates into a console of being very playable, I don't know. But it looked like a simple game you could just play, apart from, I need to go and check what's the code for like Tokyo Airport.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, Kitty Corns, thank you so much. Good night. Take care. She did say, wish it, with it being on console, it's going to be easy to play. Arcade games and old retro games are much harder to play because of the controls. AJ Plays, hello, welcome. Good to see you. But Prince agrees with you. Still need to amend that, Mag. Remove the go. I changed that earlier. I don't know why it's still doing that. Do you know what it is? The command probably changed, but I don't think the timer did. Hang on. Let me check it out. Let me check. I bet that. Yeah, it's changed the one thing, but not the other. Thank you for letting me know, Prince. I'll get onto that after the show. I mean, it's kind of a good idea, says Prince, but implementing it is stupid, as Dave said. You got to know guys will pop first for it. No, appreciate it, mate. Appreciate it, because I thought it was sorted on both. But there you go. So what do we reckon it's got? Get your scores in now, chat. What do we? Chinatown Detective Agency, which came out last Thursday on PC and Xbox One and hit Game Pass. Dave, go for it.
I'm going to go for a 6.
Okay, going for a 6. I know Prince went in for a 7, I believe. Yeah, there you go. Got a 7. Becca said I would not play this. Carl, what you saying?
I'm matching Dave again and going with a 6.
Going for a 6. Okie dokie. Any other guesses, folks? Any other guesses before we move on to our last game of the night? Becca's on a 6 with Dave. Last chance, folks, before I reveal. 3, 2, 1. Oh, Andrew's just come in with a 6.25. Okay. I can tell you, Chinatown Detective Agency gets a 7.5. So there you go. Decent, fair score. Grace says 7. I played it. It's quite good. Ah, nice, Grace. Started playing it. Sophie said 4. Imagine. Yeah, she probably did. So there you go. Our last game tonight is out on PC. This, surprise, came out last Thursday, because every other bloody game did in the last week. This is called Forgive Me, Father. Let's check this one out. See what it's all about.
You were supposed to meet your cousin. He asked for your help. However, the room was empty. What's next? This pain will never end.
There you go, folks. That is for Gimme Father, the first-person shooter as DedSec. It's Doom on crack. It certainly is. This reminds me of, remember 13? Which does that comic style thing. The original one on the PlayStation 2, not the shit remake they brought out last year, I think it was. No nuns. They missed a trick. Prince was like, hate this already. Becca's like, this has caught my eye. I like this. Prince says it seems jittery. Grays, what the fuck is this? It's too messy. This looks like someone did a really cool art skin on Quake. Probably get a 7 maybe. I like the look of this. I like those sort of cartoony first-person shooters. Borderlands is a great exception. Great version. I don't want to say exception. It is a good one. But yeah, even the original game 13 was an excellent first-person shooter on the PS2. Dave, your thoughts on this? Will this match those dizzy heights of those games?
I think it might do. I mean, it's trying to be like the old 90s shooters, the fast-paced ones, like the original Doom is like the best example there. It's got the similar sort of 3D environments, the 2D animation. So it's going to have some sort of gameplay as well. Where it's health kits you got to go and pick up. You haven't got regenerating health or anything like that. You've got to try and keep as much health as you can as you're going for the levels, so you can find a health kit to get you going again.
Yeah.
So it does look like that sort of gameplay. It looks like it does capture it pretty well. There's I think a couple of characters you can choose to play as who I think have got a different feel to each other. Both got different skill trees that you can fill up to get different moves. It looks okay. I can't say it particularly grabs my attention. I think it's the aesthetic of it doesn't really do anything for me. So it'll be one that I'll end up skipping.
Yeah. He's asking Gray, what's that game you played? Andrew says maybe a 6.75, maybe a 7. Carl, your thoughts on this?
I liked it about the same time as when Beth said, that's grabbed my attention. That was about the same time that I was like, okay. I like the graphics of it. It made me think kind of very old school comic book style with how it was done. As then the trailer was progressing, I was like, I could see myself playing this. It looked like a fun game. I don't think it's a long-term game, but I think it's one where you got nothing to do on a wet Sunday. You don't go outside and you play this game, and I think you'd have a nice Sunday.
Yeah. So
I'd buy this game, and I thought it looked good.
Yeah, I agree. I'd give this a well. I think it's a bit good. Chat, get your scores in. What say you for Give Me Father out on PC? Came out last Thursday. Get your scores in the chat now. Dave, what are you going to say?
I'm going to go for a 7.25.
7.25. Surprise, surprise. Becca says, I'm with Dave. Carl, what are you saying?
I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to go with 7.5.
7.5. Okay, Big Jesse is agreeing with you as well. 7.5. Any more scores? Andrew said a 6.75, maybe a 7. He's not quite sure. Any more scores, people? I played it and it's amazing. DedSec, then give us a score. What do you reckon this got, the reviews? You liked it. It's my kind of game. I know DeadSec likes his first-person shooters because he likes Zombie Army, and I do as well. So I can see why we would both like that. Get us some scores. I'm going to give you 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. A 10 out of 10. Well, it didn't get a 10 out of 10, dude. You may give it a 10 out of 10, which is fair enough. But this got a 7.5. There you go. Nice. Carl got it right. Can Big Jessie get a shout out, please? Sophie told me it's a free, but she wants it on Xbox. Well, she can't have either because it got a 7.5 and it's only on PC. So there you go. That's it, folks. That's all our games for this week. A quick recap there. House of the Dead remake got a 5.75. Moss Book 2 got an 8. Chronocross got a 7.75. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim got a 8.75. Slipstream got a 7.25. Godfall Ultimate Edition 7.5. Agent Intercept 7.5. Taito Milestones a 6. Chinatown Detective Agency 7.5. And Forgive Me Father 7.5. More games for you next week. Big Jesse, you are indeed on a roll. We are going to close up the show with a couple of little trailers. We always try and find things that are fascinating. The first one is, we were talking about Fortnite. How much of a shit can they get into Fortnite? Well, they've done it again. We talked about Ubisoft earlier. Here comes the latest lot of characters that they've basically nicked and stuck in Fortnite. And for all you people who love Assassin's Creed, you're going to probably be ashamed. Here we go. There you go. So that's your first one. Evio and Ezio from Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla are now coming into Fortnite. There you go. I saw this announced, never even looked at it, but there you go. Fuck off, Fortnite. There you go. Oh, yes. Please do go follow Prince Hazard. He is our community member of the month. He won a prize this month. You voted for him. So go follow him. If you aren't following him, go check out his streams. He's been streaming Ghostwire Tokyo. Go do that now. Our next one, we were talking about Lego. See, I worked this all out beautifully. Remember we talked about Mario Lego and Sonic Lego? Here's the next one, folks. It is Mario related, but here's the new one. Check this out.
Lego Peach Time! Alright! So yummy! Yeah! Ooh! Wow! Yeah! Wow! Hup! Hup! Yeah! Ooh! Hi, Mario.
There you go. So that is out, man. It's great. I loved. We've done Luigi's Mansion. We did the Mario one. We did the giant Mario mushroom. We did Sonic. But yeah, I love these little trailers, and I thought it was perfect to show this off, especially as we were talking about, you know, Lego and other stuff there. So there you go, folks. That is our show for you tonight. Thank you so much for being here. A couple of shout outs. Diva, thank you for your 12 months of subscribing to the channel. Carly, thank you for the raid. Ray, thank you for the raid. Foxy for the raid. And Becca for the raid. All of you that brought your audiences here to watch us talk about all the latest games and news. We will have another show for you next week. Our guest is Viking Wadey. Coming all the way from Wales. Viking Wadey is our guest next week. Big thank you to Carl being our guest this week. Thank you very much, sir, for being here.
No problem. I enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Really
I'm sure we can get you back on a third time and make it a hat trick sometime, either this year or next year.
Yeah, well up for that.
Awesome.
And I've been watching. It was like it puts like my Twitch thing in there. It's like, was last playing, no game. I was like, well, that's not right.
Yeah.
But maybe next time I come on, it will actually say I'm playing a game.
There you go. Yeah, it should do. Fingers crossed. Sometimes it doesn't always work properly, but there you go. Give Carl a follow. That's his Twitch. Go give Carl a follow. You're not a streamer, are you? But you play games. So there you go. Okay. Is the name right then? No, it's correct. It's correct. It is correct. It's the correct one. So there you go. I like this. Fuck me, Princess Peach is definitely coming to life at night time. Stabbing people to death. Almost a bit like Sophie, Big Jessie. There you go. I can say that because she's not here. She will now murder me in my sleep when she finds out that. But there you go. Thank you to everybody in chat. Thank you to my mods for moderating as always, and the lovely angels that look after the Discord and stuff. That's it from us. And we are going to do a raid. Is the name right then? Yes, it is. It's correct name. Prince, you got it right. It's correct. That is Carl's Twitch channel, but Carl doesn't stream, but Carl plays games. So there you go.
You've not seen me race as a reason I don't stream yet.
Yeah. I like that. Prince tried to shout out the co-host who knows the most, and it just went, error, channel not found. There you go. Big thank you to Dave, as always, for
always
being
a pleasure, mate.
Knows the most. And what we're going to do is we are going to raid on to someone else's channel, and Carl is going to get to pick now. What I do is I don't tell you who we're going to raid. I'm going to just mention some games, and you pick one of those games that takes your fancy, and then we're going to take our audience there. How does it not recognize Dave? I don't know, Prince. I don't know. Let's just wait for this to load. So, oh my God, there's so many people on. Let's see. Let's pick some people. Let's work backwards. So let's press that one and see what that is. Someone is playing. Oh my God, I've never heard this. This is not for kids. Monster Prom XXL. That sounds interesting. We've got. I don't even know what they're playing. It doesn't even say that one. We'll have to come back to that one. That's really annoying. What are they playing? Monster Hunter World. Or I'll come back to that one. Or a bit of Grand Theft Auto. So we've got Monster Prom XXL, which sounds like a very rude game, but could be funny. Come on. What's that? What's she playing? I think this person is playing some Call of Duty. I think, but don't quote me on that. It doesn't actually say, which is really bizarre. I think it is Call of Duty. Monster Hunter World or Grand Theft Auto 5. You can pick, Carl.
It's got to be Monster Prom, hasn't it?
It's got to be Monster
Prom.
Prom.
Like some weird stuff's going down.
Yeah, let's do that. So we are going to raid the Celestial Dreamer. This. What a great name. I love this. And it says, this is not for kids. This is adults only. She's literally got 2 people watching. She's only been on for 6 minutes. So let's go raid her. Go give her a follow. Go say hi. We're going to make this happen. I'm going to press that button. Going to make that happen, I hope. And that should pop up on my Twitch. And it does. So there we go. So that's it from us, folks, for another week. Thank you for tuning into TNGC. And we shall say good night from all of us. Take care and goodbye. Goodbye.
Good night.